want to be. I don't want to be stepping on your toes, and that's what you were in the process of doing anyway.
Definitely wasn't. I was just sitting here waiting for you, and then
You'll give me a thank you then.
Nah.
Oh, see what I'm talking about?
The energy just seemed like real shady. So
it wasn't. Oh Lord. Oh, Mama, hold on. Let me fix this.
Don't pull a cramp.
I when them cramps come, they just come. I can't, I can't determine to dictate that.
Would it happen often or something? You saying it like it's a frequent occurrence.
I've had them in the sweat. Well, we done did more than 12 episodes at this point, but through this, I've had them frequently on the pod.
I remember at least, I think it was 2. I remember that.
Yeah, I definitely remember 2. Now, unless you just chilling with a cramp happening.
He's like, I can't let him know.
And, trying to have the straightest face in the world, like, ooh, this cramp.
Nah, I'm not that guy. I'm gonna tell you if I'm in pain. I'm not trying to be a G.
I see. Well, since you did mention, you said 12. Well, this is episode 13 of the Was It Good Though podcast, gentlemen. 13 episodes and a few bonuses. But yes. So this is the wait. Are y'all good? Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I gotta ask before. I was, but then I was just like, I didn't make sure y'all was good before starting. So I was just trying to have be respectful and have manners. But that's the last bit of respect and manners you're gonna get right at this point. So we're about to go ahead and get into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast, where we discuss, debate, argue, and debate a bit on movies and TV shows, old and new. Like I said before, this is episode 13. We are reviewing PValley season 2, episodes 6 through 10. Yes, so our last episode, we were discussing 1 through 5, and now we are 6 through 10. So this is your spoiler alert as well. So if you have not seen episodes 6 through 10, which I'm not sure how you can not, because episodes were so good as they were dropping. But if you have not seen them, please go ahead and pause the pod. Just come back to us once you get caught up on those episodes so we do not spoil anything for you. And this is not an episode you will want to listen to around children, because this is a show you would not want to watch around children. So we just try to keep that same energy. I am here with my host, Chris. How you doing?
Feeling good. How you doing, Jazz?
I'm good. Jason, our other co-host, how are you feeling this evening?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. How y'all?
We good, ready for this second part of PValley. We still at the Pank, doing, Pank things. Not really. Not me. I don't know what y'all doing. But since I know this is Jason's realm, I'm gonna go ahead and roll it over to you, or drop it out on a poll to go ahead and so you can go up the poll. What I'm trying to say.
I mean, are you a firefighter and I'm a stripper? I'm trying to see what's going on here.
No, don't worry about it. Jason.
All right, so welcome back. We are in episode 6, Savage. This one kind of opens up. I was gonna pass it to Jazz, but she good. I got it. We have a Diamond and Big Bone boning as we actually open up this episode. Seems very, very intense. What you think about that, Chris?
I think he was waiting all week to get that off. Diamond and Big Bone boning. Yeah, I mean, they're a couple, and they're doing what couples do. I thought it was interesting too. This scene, we saw he's still thinking about Keyshawn. So it's actually wild. Of course, you see everything that happened last season, then their interaction earlier on at the dollar store. She's still on his mind, and he, women they can sense things, at times. And I feel like from this scene, she sort of saw something was up, but at the same time, she maybe didn't care that much. I don't know, what that's about, but yeah, he still got feelings for Keyshawn, and it was pretty obvious. So interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest thing here is, he kept Montavious' ring, which was the ring of Haley's ex-boyfriend. So he kept it He says for protection because he into hoodoo. And Big Bone took interest into this object. Doesn't really know what that's about, but it does play out later in the actual season. But in the episode of Savage, a lot of tumbleweeds and things going on here, but I'm trying to focus on the bigger parts of the actual episode. So we're gonna start with Mercedes. Within this episode here, you got Mercedes. She was helping out Shell and her daughter. So she goes to the actual house. She brings them some groceries. But in the midst of this, she tries to see where Tarek is. Tarek is missing per usual. And she gets a phone call from Farrah. Farrah hits her up. Hey, actually, no, it was Coach. Was it Coach or was it Farrah? I feel like it was Farrah. No, it was Farrah.
I think it was Farrah.
It was Farrah. Tell them to come through so they can finish that experience because they didn't really get to have that experience. Jazz, you want to talk about what happens when Mercedes get out to Coach house?
I mean, so Mercedes was trying to keep her and Farrah's extracurricular activities. She didn't want Coach to know because it might mess up her deal. So Farrah was like, "Oh no, that's just between us girls." And then they get to the scene to where it's a lot going on. It's like y'all know what's going on.
I don't, Jazz. What's going on?
The Mercedes experience with Coach and Farrah, no poll included. Just
you sure?
Them. Well, I didn't see a poll in this scene, but neither did you. So they were on the poll first, but now they.
Thank God, I didn't want to see Coach that way.
Right. Oh, that looked nasty because his body looks so terrible. But then you start to see Farrah paying more attention to Mercedes. So we see it, and then we see Coach's reaction. Coach is furious. It's funny how it goes from him realizing what's happening to Farrah and Mercedes, and then Coach is in his robe. I was just like, was the robe close? He got dressed so quick. But he was just like, he was so upset just seeing it happen because then you see Farrah and Mercedes hands locked, so oh yeah, this is not their first rodeo together.
Yeah.
Coach was so upset, and he screwed Mercedes out of her deal, and Farrah's like, "Well, here go your shoes. Ain't nothing I can do." And it's just like, sis, you're the reason why my whole thing got blown up. Yeah. She was just into it. I was just like, But I think Coach's reaction was hilarious because I'm just like, let me ask y'all fellas, if y'all were in Coach's position and things play out like it did in this episode, are y'all gonna be upset? Are y'all just gonna go with it? Like, what y'all doing?
That's an ego hit, especially for Coach, because I feel like the agreement that they had initially, where I don't know if she didn't know everyone, but she actually met Mercedes. So this was like off top, it was a bit different experience. I'd be pissed. Like, nah, what you doing?
So you would be like, Coach, oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm paying $10K. What you mean?
Jason,
it was 40.
Even worse.
I would have allowed that to happen because you now have a situation. Yeah, if your wife is open to having this situation and she allows you to have this, and you can, like Amon Shumpert says, sometimes he just sits back and allow his wife to just have fun, and he just watches. And I would be into that experience, even if it wasn't, like I said, even if eventually it'll come back to me. I'm going to benefit from this situation, so I'm not destroying this. No.
You just heard Jazz say his body nasty. You sure it was coming back to him?
What? Facts. It eventually was going to come back. Even if it was my wife doing something in a different way, it was going to come back to me.
That's probably the first time that I feel like Jason made a point to where he was thinking long term. He's not thinking about it right now. Jason is thinking, oh, but no, I'm going to get what I'm going to get in a few days so she can go ahead and have her fun. Jason, you know what? I'm seeing the growth in you. I'm so proud of you.
I love how that was like a compliment and a diss at the same
time. So, after this, we kind of go, I want to try to kind of dive a little bit into the Haley situation. For me this season, Haley's storyline, I wasn't feeling it. Personally, how about y'all? Was y'all liking her storyline?
It was up and down for me. It was some parts that I liked, but then it was some parts that I didn't like. She knew what she was talking about in certain areas, and then her arrogance got in the way and which is how the outcome that she ended up having, you know, why it succeeded. Because I was just like, hey, you need to take a step back, and also the thought process you have for certain things, everybody does not have that. Like Cliff is like, my ancestors like built this. The pink is just not a building. This is history. This is culture. Haley could not wrap her head around that. That was when she was a villain. I was like, this hoe.
So with Haley, I feel like she just wasn't family. So with her, she was just thinking about her just herself within that entire situation. So she kind of within this episode, she's trying to go to this black tie event that Andre is holding. And she pretends to be Brittany when she actually gets to the actual event. So that's the reason they let her into it. And within this episode, I meet probably my second favorite character of the season. It's Miss Georgie. Miss Georgie, she's definitely racist. I mean, you know, she's racist, but Miss Georgie gonna tell you how she feel, and she gonna come in there. She like, you know, I love the evolvement or evolving of TV with women being in power. So you have this woman, she comes in, and she like, I don't care about y'all dick swinging match. I'm just in here to make sure I get my motherfucking casino. And within this, she, you know, Haley is trying to, because she's been lowballed every time to sell the pink, and Miss Georgie offers her $5 million. $5 million to sell the pink, but you know, Autumn is she wants more. I feel like at this point she's kind of getting greedy. So let me just throw it to y'all. You are Autumn. You have no ties to this actual place. Are y'all taking $5 million, or would you, because you know it's worth more? Are you gonna take the 5, or you gonna try to go the long game here?
It comes to a point where like the bottom's gonna fall out. So I don't know how far she thought she could get over with these people. You just got to know when to hold them, like know when to just let it go. I feel like the 5 million would have been it. But like you said, you made a good point. She's not friendly, as they call it on the show. So it ain't really like she doesn't have the same type of investment in it as, you know, Clifford and Mercedes and everybody else. So at that point, she's just trying to get as much as she can get. I don't think she's looking at it from that clear point of view. But personally, I probably would have just took the 5 million.
I probably would have said, let me get 750. Just to show, since she first quoted 10 million. So if she said 5, and I'd be like, okay, let me try to see if I can bring it down 750.
She had a super strong stance. But beyond this piece here, Andre gets upset with Haley. They have this conversation back at his home, and she allows Andre to be in command of her. And he finally knocks it off within this situation, which of course that's going to play another part closer to the end of the season.
Couple parts.
But the biggest part of this episode is the relationship or the unraveling of Teak within this actual episode. You know, it kind of starts with the HVH crew is celebrating Teak for being released, and they give him a car. Teak is overwhelmed with emotions because the entire episode, it was like a roller coaster ride of emotions for Teak. He was celebrating, and you know, it's a joyous celebration, but then it's like you can kind of see it's a conflicted conflicted emotion within this. And then he go get a haircut because he wants to get casket sharp, you know, foreshadowing for the entire time. What did y'all think about this haircut, this old school fire style haircut?
Yeah, I never seen that in person.
You never.
No, I've never seen it in person. Yeah,
gotcha.
But I've seen I think it was like a TikTok or something. I've seen that. Mm-hmm. I'm good with the Clippers, man. But you look fresh, so I mean, it worked out.
I think with honestly, with the type of hairstyle that you wear, Chris, you probably could get that. You can't get it when it's low to the grain. That of course you'd be have a Michael Jackson situation. Man. And it's kind of, and like the imaging with Teak this entire episode, from the clothing that he was wearing, kind of alluded to what was going on. There was a picture. He's looking in the mirror after he gets his haircut of a man with the devil behind him. Just another thing. Another little tidbit I seen from Katori was the man who cut his hair. They're playing this song in the background. It's Whoop That Is. Whoop That Is. He's the rapper.
Oh, that's
that
him?
actual song. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, okay.
Just on it.
You've been talking to Katori?
No, man. Miss Patrice was talking, but I ain't talking to Katori. I'm coming for Katori though. I'm coming. But then they go, they go on a date to Hot Wing Castle, which is actually interesting because this is the spot that Uncle Cliff put on to Murda. What did y'all think about this date at the Hot Wing for the lemon pepper hot?
Chris, what you got?
I just feel a way like if I introduce you to a place and then you take somebody else, that's kind of.
But Cliff don't know. Cliff don't know that
he never took. They never went though.
I know, but still. Not that it was interesting. The main thing where you had to wait. Anyway, the main thing we saw, the relationship between them. Of course, we saw what happened last episode. But then when the waitress was flirting with him, and it was just kind of like, ain't it? But you can see they really into it. But it was sad. Like you said, the signs were there for Teak, unfortunately, and then you see like through conversation and everything that was going on, he wasn't really like there. Like it was sort of, had some jokes and laughs at the same time. It was just kind of like it was prepared for, something else.
Do you think Murda got jealous when the waitress was flirting with Teak?
Yeah, there's no thinking in that, Jazz. That man was jealous. He was jealous as hell. But it was but it was a moment where you can finally see Murda is in love with Uncle Clifford. So he kind of explains what it actually felt like with him. It's like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with dice, but it's like hitting 7 in dice when you playing on a game, or a funnel cake. That one day of the year that you can get that funnel cake at the actual fair, which is that's where we from. The fair doesn't run for a long time, so.
Where you at?
I'm in the South, Jazz.
Where?
I'm not in Mississippi. And he said it's kind of like an eclipse as well. So it was just it was interesting to see how he detailed the love or the relationship that they had. And he kind of flirts with him in that situation. He kind of rubs his hand as they sit at the table, and Teak reaches back, rubs his nose. Look, little cute, gentle situations within this, and then they make it to the again the rest of the day they just kicking it. So they go to the gas station. Chris, what did you think about this scene?
What happened?
When Murda's song came on the radio and he just got lit. You could pass it to me, Chris.
No, go ahead, Jay. I mean, it was cool. But go ahead, Jay.
Nah, because Chris got the last one. I was just like, why Jason ain't throw me the layup? But it was cool because Murda was upset. He was just like, how you give me a brand new car and it's not even full? So, I felt that. I was just like, that's wild. Like, that's crazy. But just their excitement of them pumping gas, and then they hear Murda's song on the radio by some girls playing the music at the gas station. And so they just go insane. And I thought that scene was so cool because you can see that Teak really loves and cares for Murda, and he supports him, to where it's just that when you see somebody that you rock with and you see the success in them, you're not jealous. You're sitting there like, I'm so glad that they're winning. And so that's pretty much the face that Teak gave them. And then the girls come and they taking pictures with little Murda on the car, and then here come a hater honking their horn. Like, you can't go to no other pump. Teak was about to kill that dude too. But I thought that scene was dope.
Yeah, it was just like that situation. Like, bro, we in the middle of celebrating, and you got this dude just coming up, just messing up the vibes, bro. What's good?
Yeah.
They head off. They head to a trap house. It looks like Teak about to go buy some drugs. In the middle of this, Murda gets a call from Woody, and then they're just having a conversation, saying the song on the radio. They're trying to get that second leg of the tour. Murda keep on talking about Rome, who got killed in the previous episode, and wrote it like, yeah, man, since that OD, it's just best for the. He was like, kind of funny you keep on talking about an OD. I haven't heard nobody say that. And then, as they continue to talk, the phone disconnects. Murda, being the hood dude, he see Teak goes inside the house, and he's like, bro, that's not how you buy drugs. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So he goes into the house, and then you can hear a voice, saying, like, talking real crazy as Teak's up in there, and then Teak, kind of explains to him, hey, this is my house. And he was like, we finna go, it used to be your house. We finna this is today, we gonna have, we got tomorrow, we out of here. He said say goodbye, we saying goodbye tonight, we saying goodbye tonight. Still more foreshadowing, because we said we both of us ain't coming back. Coming back to, he looking at the mud, the slums, within that situation. So then we get to the river, and at this point, and like I said, this is when my mind was different as far as when it came to Teak, because like I said, Teak, I didn't like his character, man, because he was just a little too amped up as far as when it comes to it. But then we get the unraveling of Teak, and we see why he's the way he is within this situation. It was super deep as far as with how he was talking, and he was just saying when he was in jail, he was in the darkness, and Murda's rhymes or his raps are what was light for him. That's what kept him going. That's what kept him moving. And he he has the 3 tears on his face, and he was like, I've killed way more people than that, bro. These 3 tears on my face, which it comes out, he was referring to his mom. His mom killed his siblings when he was a kid, which it mirrored a real life situation in Memphis. Like a few years ago, woman, she killed all her kids. Only one of them survived. Within that situation, is just like I said, just a heartbroken situation. How did y'all, eventually, he does take his life within that situation. What you got, Chris?
Yeah, I started to see it coming, and then throughout the whole conversation they was having, it felt like he just really felt like he didn't have anything to live for, and that's tough because we talk about like the prison system, and like he wasn't really given much opportunity or able to adjust to like coming back into society. Like, what is he going to do at this point? Of course, him being good buddies with Murda, he's able to get a little gig and be put there. But as far as like an actual life, he doesn't really feel like he has anything to live for. And I thought this was tough, and I thought it was we talk about mental health so many times. Even with this situation, when you look at how this affects Murda, because Murda is doing all of this, and he just got his song played on the radio, so like that's a high for him, right? And then you get all of this, and you talking to Teak, and you think it's going, and then this situation happens. It's just like it just comes right back down for him. So just that whole wave of emotion, not only for the viewers, but putting yourself in Murda's shoes, it was a tough watch. I did see it coming, at a certain point, but still, just the actual everything happening, it was really tough. And of course, the acting was incredible once again between both of these men. So just want to get them their props as well.
Did you have some, Jazz, on this scene at all? I mean,
yeah, it was extremely heavy. I guess I don't think I saw it actually coming. I thought Murda was gonna try to stop him and take the gun from him. But and then like when it actually happened, I was just like, oh shit. I was just like, damn. Because like you said, Chris, like Murda being there with him and seeing that happen, like Teak's blood was on him.
Yeah.
So like it's just, yeah, that scene was heavy.
Yeah. But shout out to John Clarence Stewart. That's who played Teak.
He's a great actor, man.
And I'm speechless. Like he was just like, I'm going from the dark to the light. They, when we watching Atlanta season 2, they gave Cat Williams got an Emmy for being the alligator man. It was a 30-minute episode. So I'm hoping within this situation he gets some kind of recognition, because that was embodied. But a lot of Black shows typically don't get that type of love. But I'm hoping that episode there alone, that entire episode, he would be deserving.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say I think this was the episode because I wasn't watching it weekly with you guys, and then I think once this episode aired, that's when I was like, "Yo, this is heavy." And I was like, "All right, I gotta tune in. I gotta see what's going on." This was it, yeah.
But Jason, the fact that you mentioned that Teak's story was like based on a true story, it reminded me of Atlanta, the last season 3 of the little boy that was with the family, and how that ended. Except for in Atlanta, they switched the ending to where the boy survived. So you see how true events that's happening within our communities, how they're being displayed in art, because it's bringing more awareness. So I think that's definitely important.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the best way we can say it, man. If, like I said, if you see in the darkness, because I know how it can get. I've been there. Man, just try to get the help. Try to seek help if you can. You know, within that situation, best you can. But of course, at the end of this, you know, Murda is shook up, and we finally get the reunite of Cliff and Murda. And he kind of tells him, you know, I'm not okay. Which, you know, that's something a new thing for me, saying I'm not okay. Just actually, you know, understanding that it's okay to be not okay.
Yeah.
And that was the conclusion of that one.
Yeah, I like that little piece of dialogue too because it's just that one line, but it shows so much. Not only just, you know, as you said, Jason, that's something new for you. That's not really something that's like we're taught, like, you know, that it's not being okay, especially as Black men or men in general. But then even like Murda, like his persona, he's a big time rapper, like he's hard, you know, all this. His name is Murda, so like these type of things that, you know, we're seeing not only emotionally but even sexual, you know, his sexuality and all this stuff. This is not something that you would expect, you know, from someone like him. So just seeing all these things played out in the way that it's done, I thought it was really, really, really well done.
It was, but like I said, that was conclusion. Episode 7, Jackson. We get a montage of grandmother. She's seeing her daughter, which is Cliff's mother. The previous episode, we find out that she gets COVID from Toy. It had been a few episodes. I'm not sure really the time relevance within these actual episodes, but you know, like I said, she gets COVID. Eventually, she gets sent to the actual hospital, and we kind of see where this takes Cliff and Murda within this actual situation. The biggest thing within this actual episode, though, is Terica. In the previous episode, we find out that Terica is pregnant. So she's kind of been dodging Mercedes, dodging Shell the entire time. And it actually plays out. But it kind of plays out, Jazz, within something that you kind of helped me out or talked about. This episode came out around the same time as the Roe versus Wade ruling. So that was, I guess, interesting. So what did you think of, you know, Terica and Mercedes?
I think this entire scene was important because Mercedes' first instinct was, you don't need to have this, basically trying to make decisions for Terica without including a Terica in hers. And you start to see her having flashbacks of when she was younger, when she got pregnant, and how her mother reacted and treated her. So then you saw the abuse, verbal and physical abuse that Mercedes dealt with when she was younger. Then as they, because she put Terica in the car, Terica didn't even really know where they were going. And then they were like, we were just going to Jackson, you know, did the ultrasound, checked all of that. And so this was real heavy because Terica's just like, oh, he said he loved me, he gonna do this. And Mercedes is like, where he gonna work at? He's 14 years old. So she's just thinking of like the fairy tale and not the real life things that come along with having a baby. And so Terica, she's fighting with Mercedes, just lashing out. And then she's like, oh, maybe this can be your chance to where you can actually, you know, raise a baby and all that other stuff. And I was just like, Terica, what? Like 14? It was just,
yeah, she was out of control, to be honest. Terica was kind of like, even when they was in that car ride, they was listening on the car ride up to Jackson, they listening to WAP on the radio, and she
know all the words.
Like, you know, I'm not even tripping on her knowing the words, but like she like she in a celebratory mood, like she's screaming the song, she, you know, like just wild.
She seemed really excited more than a normal 14-year-old that's pregnant, because the fear would have been in my heart. But she was like, oh, Mom, can I go get some ice cream, all this other stuff? And I'm like, my reaction would be a lot more. But
yeah, man, it was like I said, within that, it was just like, bro, what are you like? What, like, you just super amped about a situation you have, but you have no, like, you don't know anything within this situation. Like, and it just goes into like, even with just knowing your own body, because not Jazz, but Mercedes was like, how far along are you?
She didn't even know.
Yeah.
Nothing. You just like, it's just like, you shouldn't be screwing if you don't know your own body, how it works, and what'll get you in this situation.
Yeah.
And that's a PSA coming from the Was It Good Though podcast. There you go.
And the situation with Patrice, because we see flashbacks of Patrice. Like I said, she's one of my favorites. I don't care, but I will say her, like, the way she was when she was raising Mercedes, as a kid, you see that contradiction within that 1 minute. She tells her she tries to pimp her daughter,
but then she gets mad when she sees cash and the condoms in her purse, and then she's beating her on the floor, and I'm just like,
I didn't understand that, but
yeah, that's one of Jason's favorites. So Jason,
but yeah, man, it was like I said, she just wanted to make sure, that she knew her options. Like, she wasn't telling her she needed to have an abortion. Yes, that's her mother. She probably was more so suggesting, yes, you need to get an abortion. You're 14, you have a whole life. You're not ready for what comes with this. And she kind of, like I said, she allows her to choose what she wants to do. But that was the happiest ride to the abortion clinic I've ever seen.
You know what, Jason? What episode? 24, Chris? That's where you're trying to get to.
Yeah,
Jason, you gotta relax. But
that was Mercedes' face. I'm just something about Mercedes. Her face was excited.
But I think it's definitely important to see how you see Mercedes, her reaction at the beginning of that situation, and then seeing it in the end. She left the decision to Terica, and so I thought that was really important.
Yeah, basically a decision she didn't have herself. So it was
right.
It was a nice nice twist right there.
Yeah, that was actually pretty crazy. With her mom, but I hear that often pretty much with like Christian women. They have this thing of, don't know abortion, you gotta raise it, but it's like I get that part, but there's a lot more that goes into it. But you would think that person would know it's a lot that goes within that situation. But what you gonna say, Jazz?
Next scene. I'm just like, we're getting in the thick of the woods here. Let's bring it back.
So, like I said, within this situation, we get, like I said, we have the situation. Teak has just passed away. Murda is now crashing at Cliff's house. Cliff is trying to help him as much as he can within that actual scenario. So we have a lot of, like I said, it was some stuff we were actually looking for within this. Well, I was looking for, because like I said, the main thing of the last season was the relationship between Cliff and Murda, but this season it hasn't really been that. It's been more so like postcards. You can just see the love is actually built. Like they say, what they say, Chris, the absence makes the heart grow fonder. Like, so that actually plays out. Jazz, don't shrug your shoulders. Don't shrug your shoulders. You know what love is. Stop acting like that.
Getting on there like
I ain't even say nothing. That's what's so crazy about it.
So it was an interesting scene. That was they were in Murda walking through the house. He heard a thump. He goes to Cliff's room to make sure he was okay. And he goes into it. He was like, only the worthy can see it. He was like, hopefully I'm worthy enough. He was like, you in here, ain't it? So he walking around.
I snapped my fingers when Uncle Cliff said, I said, yeah.
So they playing with a lot of Cliff's old clothes and messing with different things, and it was just like, yeah, I need them to dress my boy better, dress Clifford better next season, man.
You want feeling the face?
You're like,
I don't like a single outfit that Cliff wore this season, except that pink jumpsuit. He had a pink jumpsuit on with a do-rag. That was about the best one.
Would you rock that? Is that something you would wear?
No,
Okay.
but it looked good on Cliff. Like as far as when they come, that outfit looked good on Cliff. And there was like a funny scene. They were going back and forth. He called him Lil Cisco. Within that situation, and it plays back when like I said, I already spoke about Miss Ernestine getting taken to the actual hospital. So Cliff's in the shower. He's crying in the shower. I guess that's the best place to do it. People can't see it, and everything.
Yes, and you don't really know that you're crying because your face is wet anyway.
I was gonna call you out, Jazz, but I was like, I'm working on not calling you out on the pod, so I'm glad you told us.
So you gonna act like you don't cry in the shower?
No, I cry.
You cry out loud.
I do.
Cry in front of you.
Car, movie theater.
Boo-hoo crying like all the time.
Drive through.
Hey, look, man. I'm an emotional human. I let these emotions out. It's okay to let it out. Cliff gets out the shower, but Lil Murda, he doing his little Cisco. He danced to the thong song. He got all Cliff, just put on all the Clifford's little bitty clothes. Chris, would you like if your woman was upset, you dressing up in her clothes and giving her a little peep show?
Yes or no? I would not answer that question on the podcast.
Don't let her see that thong.
Nah, but I like that relationship. I think it was dope. Even with the way Murda was with grandma, just feeding her and making sure she's good. I really like that relationship.
Yeah, Murda seemed like a real, like I said, he seemed like a real genuine dude. He's definitely trying to, I ain't gonna say change himself, but he's trying to evolve in different situations. So there's a lot of conversation between him and Cliff within this episode, because he's trying to figure out, because he wants to be able to be out as himself without having to hide stuff, but he feel like the world won't allow him to be what he wants to be as well as be a rapper. But in this moment here, it was about Cliff and how Cliff feels, and I do feel like Murda does have a little bit of a toxic streak though, because whenever his lovers are hurt, he drops dick, like that's like a horrible thing to do.
I feel like what a bunch of y'all do.
Are you grouping some people together, Jazz? I'm trying who you.
No, I'm just like
y'all is in people.
No, I mean no. Nothing like that.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm just trying to make sure.
Doesn't that seem like a toxic individual's trait to drop the groceries when you're sad? Is that not?
I mean, hold on. Let me, Jazz. When you're sad, does the pain lift your spirits?
I mean,
yeah.
Sounds like a stand-up guy to me. Shout out to Murda.
So, but in this situation, Murda switches. He switches. Within this scene. So So
you
want to give it to Jazz?
Or Jazz, you want to take this thing?
Sure. During this scene, they do turn on some Usher Trading Places, and that's what they do. But then you have that quick where you been, because you see Clifford going into his desk, his drawer on the side of his bed, and Murda's like, nah, we good. Cliff's like, you good? And Murda's like, yeah. It's just like we seen what Murda was doing, but then we also seen what Cliff was doing earlier in the episodes. But I'm curious if we're gonna get a callback from that, because not that I'm trying to wish anything on any of the characters, but it definitely just seems like something that would stand out during that scene too, where you want to remember. So they do their thing. I'm sure y'all don't want to dwell on that too much, but Cliff wakes up, Murda's right there in his bed. they both looking happy and glowing. So
Why did I just remember the Photoshop Jazz did of the scene?
what? Wait, I did a what?
Did a Photoshop of this.
Oh, I don't remember whose face I used.
It was our
Hi, Nelson.
Yeah, it was definitely Nels. Shout out to Nels.
I gotta find that.
Yeah, please do.
I'm not gonna post it. I'm not gonna do them like that.
I will.
Yeah, I definitely post it.
I'm not tripping. So after they, like I said, they do this situation, and he asks to get filled up. This is murder, being asked to be filled up. From Cliff.
I wasn't even gonna drop that line.
I
wanted to, but I was just like,
I am. So they have like I said, they have an actual conversation. And Murda was interested into why Cliff allowed him back in the actual house, given the situation that happened in Murder Night, which is the end of last season. And he said, I just felt like you needed me, but I also needed you. So I feel like we needed each other within this situation. But again, this is, like I said, super dope. But that's the ending of episode 7. Did y'all have anything that y'all wanted to touch on within there?
Yeah, I like the dynamic between Autumn and Keyshawn. We saw them in the grocery store, and even with Autumn's whole storyline, with regarding like buying the pink and all that situation, I'm like, that reminds me of like Hopper's storyline from Stranger Things. I'm just ready for it to get over with. But this piece, I know it's gonna tie together eventually, but I'm just like, all right, can we skip through this? But her and Keyshawn's dynamic, I really like that, because she's legitimately trying to help her, and I think having Autumn there gave her, who also escaped a violent situation herself. I think that really gave Keyshawn a little bit more, some more courage to, try to go forward with this, and what she may not have had before.
Yeah, that's true.
Within them, like these little stories they be telling, man, they be killing me. They be killing me.
That scene was funny because when I was first watching it, I was just like, "Oh, Autumn, this story." It's like, damn, okay, like
you was invested, right?
I was, but then I saw Keyshawn's reaction. She said, "Autumn, what the hell are you talking about?" And I said, "So wait, Keyshawn didn't get the joke, get the story, but I did." Well, then I was just like, "Am I looking too deep into the story?" But I was just like, Keyshawn probably just wasn't looking further enough. But yeah.
Yeah, nah, it was yeah, no, I don't know what. I don't know. I get the story, but it's just like, just tell the girl. But I guess Derek listening through the wall, that he's in control. Ain't no telling with Derek. You got to be able to talk over.
She talking in code. She just like, there was this girl, Savage, Keyshawn, like she Breaker of Chains, Haley, Autumn, Winter. Basically telling Keyshawn her entire story, but talking about herself in the third person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, we should have got a table and had this conversation over lunch. Because
Derek wasn't letting it ride.
Yeah. I have a question. When you think Autumn and Keyshawn, when she's helping her, you think she had like an extra motive in trying to help Keyshawn?
No, I think the reason why she was able to connect with Keyshawn so much is because she saw a bit of herself in Keyshawn.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you've been in that situation, I would think if you've been in that situation, you see someone else in there, you're gonna want to help them. It's just like an automatic reaction. And so she was just like, you can follow the same steps that I did and be able to get out. Because I guess making it seem like Derek killed himself is too much work. So she just gotta.
I mean, Jazz, do you have? You know what? I'm not gonna ask you on the pod. We'll talk later.
Save my co-host.
Like, Jazz got plans out here. Like, what's going on?
Nah, what? I'm one of the holy ones, even though Jason was on some wild stuff on the last episode. So
hey,
no, we not.
Yeah. Let's not go back to demon time.
Hey man, hey. So we get episode 8, the death drop. We open up on Mercedes. She's in the pink. The pole is kicking her ass. She still can't get her pole routine back down. That shoulder still killing her. She's doing the best she can. She has she has a talk with Cliff, and he was telling her, this is the first time I've ever seen you get conquered by the pole. And then it goes into Mercedes just more so like her. He says it's her mental within that situation, just everything that's going on. And since she fell, but I mean I get that. Coming back from off an injury, just a basic injury, shit. You see athletes say it all the time. A lot of them never return to form after they get hurt, doing something that they love. That's the crazy part. And that's the scary part, because after you do that, what do you have? And the last thing that Mercedes had, her mom took it. So Mercedes just going through a lot of different things, and she was getting close with Coach. And he was finna give her the money, but she said fuck it, and she dipped. Like she didn't even take the money. Like she didn't take the 40. She just left it. I would have took it personally.
I'm like,
Ain't no way in hell. But she goes home. And Maine's back. Maine's out of jail. And Mercedes is out here running with her dog Black and Mild. Like, who names a dog Black and Mild?
the good people of Chuckalisa, that's it.
Jazz, what do you think about this situation between Mercedes and Maine?
Maine, look.
As soon as you said his name, she lit up. She said,
look, whew, I was glad they brought him back. I mean, you see, you get the energy that they both have for each other, and it's just like Mercedes. Yeah, that's what you need to be focused on. But Maine just got out of jail, so Maine probably ain't got no income coming in. So it's like, that situation you had with Coach was definitely more financial, a better financial situation. But because they're doing a little flirting, and then he's just like, they're gonna have a block party for him that night. So he just flirting with Mercedes, and I'm just like, Mercedes, that's when you gotta jump on board, sis, and give him that experience. But just
one-on-one VIP experience.
Yep, then he gotta go to the club. He lives across the street from her. He's not even far.
Bruh, not at all.
No one has to catch an Uber. Just walk across the street. But yeah, the tension between them, it's like fireworks.
It is. Yeah. It is. I'm trying to see how I want to go about this, but I'm gonna start with Cliff. That's what I'm gonna start at. So we start with Cliff and Murda at the house. Cliff is a fucking barber now. But he cuts he gives him a fire haircut.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
Yeah, he cuts his hair. And they have the conversation again about the sex partners. Hopefully this doesn't. I hope it doesn't come back, Jazz, like as a situation. But they do have a situation like, where you been, nigga? Where you been? I know where I've been. I'm good. I'm covered. Are you? Within that, which we know, like I said, murder situations, he was covered. He like Teak, he did that.
Oh yeah, we did see Teak put in his mouth. Yeah,
with his mouth. I ain't never seen that before, but I ain't, so as they actually were talking, like he said, basically tells Murda, like, you have too many secrets, and I'm not going to be one of your secrets. I feel like he said, I'm Uncle Clifford. I know what my son is. I can shine. You afraid of that shine right now. So like, just leave me alone if that's what you're gonna do. And Cliff, heads over to the club. Cliff and Autumn, they trying to get the club prepared for the grand opening again. So they letting the girls work. They got Mercedes, she still can't get it down. Mercedes still fucking up. Shoulder still messed up. Roulette, Whisper, they killing it. But then, Roulette, she hot at the mouth. She popping off. She going out. She going back and forth with Mercedes. And that's when Autumn was like, at this point, we gotta bring Keyshawn back into the fold, which kind of plays out within that conversation between Keyshawn and Autumn, where they put the plan together. They basically, she's now ready to leave. She looks up the information that the breaker of chains gives her. Man, Lakeisha Haley Knight, Autumn Savage. I think her daughter's name's Autumn for real. So I don't like. It's so confusing. She's helping her finally get the escape, and she tells her, I'm gonna get you back in the club. We're gonna be the headline. You're gonna bring all the people. We're gonna raise the price at the door, and we're gonna give you everything off the door. And she brings it back in, and Cliff is pissed. Like, bro, this bitch is the reason we had to shut down as long as we did because the club was shot up, and then the pandemic happened. I just been hurt ever since this bitch night. How would y'all feel in that situation if you was Cliff?
I feel like she ruined everything.
So technically, Keyshawn didn't ruin anything. She fucked up, but she basically just held the gun up to Diamond. She wasn't shooting up the club. Like, I think a fight broke out from murder night, which is why and then hold on, Derek and Diamond got to a fight, and then you had Mercedes, Autumn, Breaker of Change, Savage.
But that was after after Derek and Diamond was fighting over the gun. They shot the club. Up.
So okay, how is that even Keyshawn's fault? Keyshawn was just Keyshawn, my sister Keyshawn is innocent. Y'all not blaming.
No, you're not.
We going back.
No, you're not. Jazz, you're not about to defend that. You're not about to defend that.
She hit him with my sister Keyshawn.
But Jason, Keyshawn messed up for pulling a gun out of Diamond. Yes. But technically, by the time she did that, the club had already been shot up. So you can't blame Keyshawn for shooting up the club. If you're gonna blame Keyshawn, you gotta blame Diamond.
Diamond got put out the club. He couldn't come back. You know, he left at that point.
Did they just fire him, or did he leave on his own?
We don't know that. We don't. I think he left on his own, but they don't really explain that piece. Because Cliff gonna give him a second. He gonna give Diamond the second, the third, or fourth, 26th time.
You don't
in that
fire nobody that look like Diamond. Even if he the mascot of your business, he need to be on your payroll. But yeah, it's not Keyshawn's fault. So
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Not in front of me. I'm gonna defend my black sisters.
So this pisses Cliff off. Cliff goes outside. He goes in the car, and I have a lot of moments like this myself. I just go in the car and just scream because it's controlled. It's away from everybody, and it's just your own space. You can just do it. And then he sees his mother in the mirror, and it gives him a plan. What you got, Jazz?
I was gonna say, and I was gonna ask y'all because PValley did that a few times this season, to where you saw different images, whether if it's in a mirror or in like the living room. But how did this make y'all feel? Because I want to reference Scream 5 that did that.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what I think he was going for Billy.
And they did a terrible job with Scream 5. But I love how PValley did it and how they incorporated it, and it didn't feel forced. It felt
I agree, Jazz.
so natural.
Yeah, I agree. It felt that the Diamond shit didn't, but that's just me. But the mom coming back to speak to Clifford, that felt super genuine to me.
Yeah, that felt so perfectly done. And then I'm looking at Scream 5 or remembering Scream 5, and I'm like, here go Billy in the same shirt that he got killed in. Like, what are you doing?
But I guess in that situation too, just keeping it with Scream 5 just for a minute. That bitch didn't know him.
She didn't know Billy.
She didn't know Billy. Like, not a day of knowing Billy at all.
I mean, he's popping up in your mirrors. Say hello. Say good morning. If you know that's your dead daddy, like if he pop up on you all the time, don't.
You know what, Jazz? You know what? If Billy would have popped up on Sydney, I would have probably felt better with it. But because it was her and she didn't know him, I'm not okay with it.
Well, she is Sydney.
Why would you? We're not doing this. We're not doing this. But
so let's reel it back in.
We'll discuss this after. So Cliff, because his mom speaks to him, Cliff goes out to Corbin. He leaps up with Corbin out in the field. And Corbin pretty much says, "You ain't never had it bad to somebody like me." And he was like, "Brother, I'm a black gay man moving, black gay man who I guess he classifies himself as a woman." So he's like, "What? Like, you don't get to speak about that half, nigga." Like, that was like a good situation. But he kind of pretty much in that situation, he tells him, the way to take care of this situation is you need to pay Patrice off, and that'll clear Patrice out your, that get Patrice out of the actual running, and that gets you what you're actually looking for, with Andre. Let me see, and within that, Cliff, he finally goes back to visit his mom at her actual gravesite, and he said and I feel this was like a super sentimental moment as well, because I get that, like when you feel like everything is just failing at the actual moment, and if that's who you're reaching out or seeking to, or who you speak to, because he said he was supposed, I think he said he goes, like he used to go every week or something like that whenever he goes to visit, but he said he was just scared to go back and tell her that he's failing, and he didn't want to be able to come back to her, and say, did y'all have anything within this situation? Well, with Cliff speaking with his mom.
No, not me.
Gotcha. But then, like I said, we split it over. We got Murda. Murda went to go visit Teak's body. We got Wody. Him and Wody are having a conversation there, which, he was like, don't you get tired of just working around all these dead bodies, bro? He was like, now when you get to know death intimately, and he said, you say, nigga, you think you God, which he kind of, that kind of inevitably plays out at the end of the episode. He's like, he said, we all got God in us, nigga, and we all got some devil too.
I really appreciate his character. I don't think
Chris didn't like him.
At first, I didn't like him.
Like, I just didn't pay his character much attention.
Mm-hmm.
But this season truly made me appreciate him, because he was telling Murda off gate who Roman was. He was like, he was a schemer, like he was a rapist, like all of that. He was like, I took care of that. And he's Murda's guardian angel for real.
Yeah, I can see
because he don't sit up here and judge Murda, tell Murda what he need to do. He just don't mess up the money. And he's looking out for him and Keyshawn. So I'm just like, yeah, Wody is definitely MVP. Well, he's in the top 3 MVP.
Easily.
For sure. So
Easy.
that was my rap, Jason. If you didn't catch it, just to play the episode. That was
she just had to get it in a little bit.
And he kind of went to him. He was like, you didn't tell me about the tape, which is alluding to the tape that Rome had about Lil Murda. He kind of tells us the situation. He was 15. He had to do what he had to do to to feed his family, feed his mom, to make sure they had a place to stay. So I guess he was soliciting himself for sex, and somebody recorded it and put it out, because I guess Murda is pretty young, because I guess relative to Cliff, because Cliff is 40, and they always call him like a little boy, within that situation. They don't really say how old he is, but he's relatively young compared to him, but they always call him his son.
Yeah.
Whenever they come around.
I can see that too with his relationship with Mercedes, the way that dynamic is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But then see, Mercedes 30. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, man, Murda. Hey.
So they go to the funeral. They lay Teak down. He wrote him one more letter. For him to for their light when he goes down into their dark. Which was super dope, sentimental. But then he goes outside, and Pico online claiming he done killed the man, like on some clout shit, some super clout shit.
That seems crazy to me, because I'm just like, so you didn't kill him, but the cops could easily, like, you confessing to a murder, but granted it's Mississippi, so they don't care. But I'm just like, why would you even try to confess to a murder? Like, but then again, people do all kind of things for clout.
That wasn't the crazy thing he did. This man was talking about he killed somebody, and he was at the grocery store just kicking it, just by himself, solo, dolo, like it was just
right. So he just
like,
lying about it, just
like shit. Just walk out the store. Murda pulls up on him though. Murda pulls up on him, and he was basically confronting him about the situation. He was like, you don't know what it feel like to have that person blood on your body, watching this person have a hard time trying to figure out how they gonna breathe, to fighting to breathe within that situation. And he try to please. I got 2 kids. I got one on the way. I'll be sure to tell Tyson what's up. And he kills kills Pico.
This was a terrible scene.
Because he was I know my dad's gonna say that too.
This scene was completely awful. I'm just like, y'all did way too much or had way too much fun shooting this scene. Because I'm sitting here thinking like, you are so close to him. Y'all are like not even 6 feet apart, and you just load him up. All his blood is on you. You don't even need to be that close. Like I hated this death scene, and y'all know I love death scenes, but I hated this death scene.
And then the gun he used too. It's just like, why is that necessary? He's like right there.
He could have, you know, just hit him in the head one time, you know, with the blicky. But I guess he wanted the Uzi to go ahead and get him out of here. Yeah, that was crazy. But I mean, you kind of see it play out when he in the studio because he still got the blood on himself as he's making this song.
Sure, the artistic approach, I guess, they was going.
I didn't agree. I don't agree. I mean, I agree with you, Jazz. I don't agree with them filming that piece. It felt very extra type situation. It could have played out a lot better.
I mean, it could have easily been a scene to where he had a handgun,
exactly,
and he shot him, and then instead of the camera being on, what's the dude that got killed, Jason?
Pico.
Instead of it being on Pico, you just got it on Murder, and you're getting a medium shot of his reaction killing Pico. That could have been the scene. Now, I'm not saying I just be doing storyboards and all that, but if y'all need anybody for
Jazz, and it's just for Murder. Look at Jazz, bro. Look at her mind.
No, I'm just saying, it's just like that would have been a dope shot. Like, you didn't need to see all that violence. Like,
yeah, I think that was probably the most unrealistic scene of the season.
Exactly.
I feel like they did it that way just to show how crazy it can actually get. I love like the music and the montage was cool, but the actual murder was actually kind of crazy. How they dropped the music out and brought it back. That was kind of wild. Did y'all have anything within this episode?
Yeah, I feel like you missed the biggest one with Roulette and Whisper.
Within this one, you're right that we got. So we could talk about when they pull in, you know, Roulette, the relationship between Roulette and Duffy, and you know, it kind of plays out more within here. You gonna take that one, Chris?
This is also is this the episode when they went to the hotel room with the guy?
Yeah, with Jazz.
Yeah.
I feel like Jazz liked Terrence a little bit.
Nah,
she didn't.
Oh, I didn't think so. So
I thought she said something that she was like, yeah, I ain't think they're gonna show his whole body like that, but yeah.
I mean, they
just say, well,
that don't mean I like them, but they did give the lady something to check out. So yeah. But anyway, go ahead, Chris.
No, so we see the scene. Roulette is, you know, she's doing more than stripping to get money in the club, and one of her previous clients was this guy right here. What's his name, Jason? Terrence. So he pulls up and he wants Whisper, and you know, I thought this was you could sense the danger. You know, at this point, of course, Whisper can as well, and then everything going on, how everything played out. This really showed Roulette's character for me, and she's like looking at this, I thought she was gonna be like, as the season progressed, I thought she was gonna have a bigger role as far as something really bad happening at the Pink. Maybe they're saving it for, you know, the future. But I think, you know, this wasn't her first go around at all, and I don't think the other dudes were as fortunate as Terrence to get out, because she was just like she just humiliated this man, honestly. Which you know, it was justified.
He deserved it.
Yeah, it was definitely justified. But I was just kind of like, yikes. And then even her playing, like, we see why her name is Roulette, like the whole, I'm just like, bro.
My mind never registered until, well, I mean, I guess nobody probably would have until she put the gun up to her head. You know, that's like her favorite game to play. I'm like, oh shit, now I get, you know, I thought Roulette was like, I don't know where I thought Roulette came from until it was the game of Russian Roulette.
So don't say everybody then, because I damn sure knew exactly what her name meant the entire time. Like,
oh, really?
I didn't know she was wilding like that.
You didn't. Oh, so y'all didn't understand like why her name was Russian Roulette? You didn't connect the game.
I don't know if she ever said Russian. I thought it had something
I never heard
Russian way she.
Well, like roulette, like
I thought normally when
normally when I think of roulette, I think of the movie 187 with Samuel L. Jackson. They were playing Russian roulette at the end of the game because they would load the gun with just one bullet, and so you just keep playing until somebody dies. but Rihanna also has a song called Russian Roulette that explains the game as well. So I guess
I know. I mean, I know what Russian Roulette is. I mean, I've watched TV shows. Like I was watching. It was like I feel like it was Walker Texas Ranger. Yeah. Don't question
Wait.
it. Don't question it. Don't question it. Don't question it. But
did you watch Knight Rider as well?
A little bit, not really. But I used to watch Cordell Walker, and there was an episode where like this guy, he was trying to help this thug, and he was like his dad went out like in a gang shooting, but it turns out his dad lost a game of Russian roulette. So that's I know what it is.
Look what Jason be watching. He used to watch MASH.
I grew up in my grandmother's house, man. I can't help it.
It makes sense why Bruce Wayne is his favorite hero.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, so now y'all know why her name is Roulette. Yeah, and then also, if you think about the interaction between her and Mercedes in earlier episodes, she was like, "Oh, I'll get you in a game of roulette," and Mercedes was like, "Oh, folks, ask people around here. I love a game of roulette." So that didn't.
Yeah, that did. That Mercedes got to relax. Yeah, with that dumb ass. That ain't a game I'm trying to play. Like what the fuck? What? Like
your shoulder already messed up. You ain't trying to like relax.
Chris is like, don't go from messed up shoulder to a bullet in your head.
Exactly. That's not good, man.
It's not a nah. And they run out. They basically they make Terrence suck a gun. And they strip him of his clothes. They take his car and they link up with Duffy. She links up with Duffy again. And Duffy kind of questioned her, but Duffy really don't care. He just really into her. For whatever reason, he's showing interest in her. And like I said, I feel like it kind of plays back in that previous situation. Like Chris, you were mentioning it when they were in the club, and everybody was giving Whisper the actual eyes, and she kind of dips out. She goes outside and she's kicking it with Duffy, and they just talking. She was like, look white nigga, I like you. But I'm a hoe. We were like, shit, I'm a hoe too. And they share their first kiss, and that's called romance right there. That's actually romance.
Oh
yeah. No, y'all don't think so?
No.
Hey, no? You like it? I love it, brother. Nah, but also we had the scene with Mercedes and Maine in this episode too. Jazz had mentioned that part as well.
Yeah.
Which one? Tell me when they was about to.
So basically, she told him that's what he wasn't what she was looking for. Basically, what he could provide.
The second scene that they were together.
Right, at the end.
Yeah. I don't agree with her decision at all whatsoever. I would have been like Mercedes, because she had mentioned like as soon as he get out of jail, she gonna jump on him anyway. So I was just like rooting for her, but.
I think she met Farrah after that.
I think that Farrah situation got her mind twisted a little bit.
And I think it could have been too like
the power of the P.
There you go. But even Farrah with her paintings and stuff, like her passion, we know what Mercedes really wants to do. So I think that played a part as well. She doesn't want to be stuck in that same, type let's say like same type of situation. Maybe she saw that dealing with Maine. She wants to go on, with her dance studio and all that. So I figured that may have been it.
So she just like, Maine, I can't deal with your foolishness no more. I'm
just
moving
saying,
up the ladder.
Yeah, I mean, she may not want to be in that,
I mean, he did. I think their interaction was dope because he asked her, like, "Are you good?" Yeah. Maine already knew something was up with Mercedes, and she was just like, "Will the nightmare stop?" And he just told her, was like, "No." And she just like, "How do you even continue to live on?" And he was just like, "You got to make a difference in somebody else's life."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here, sis. He said all that to you, and you still said no.
Jesse couldn't be me. Hey. That's a stronger woman than I am.
She is.
When we go into to episode 9, Snow. Within this one, in the previous few episodes, we haven't really talked about Andre, but a lot has been going on with him, but I haven't really cared about it. But we're gonna catch you up because this one opens up with Andre. Andre seems to be dropping in the polls. He went out. He had this speech at the Black Tie event. He talks about his mother passing, his dad passing, but it turns out to be a lie. Somebody we know is Kyle Corbin. Basically, Kyle Corbin is leaking information. He pretty much puts out there that Andre Daz is alive. He's in jail. He's going to jail for life for murder. But then we have a situation where he puts out Patrice information, talks about how she be fighting. She's fighting her daughter. She's fighting in the street. She was a prostitute, but unlike everybody else, she kind of owns up to her messiness. In that situation, she says I hold so you could fly. Within that, how can you not love her?
That's a bar, though. That's a bar.
It is. It's a wild bar, but I'm like, yeah.
Within that, Haley's still trying to cut her side there. She meets up with Georgie. Georgie still leaving it out there. Hey, I got this $5 million, but then she said, you don't know, but your deal is trickling, so you need to take this, or else, But Haley, she's still kind of cocky within that situation, kind of like what you said, Jazz. But she did have a good idea. She had a good idea for Andre. But like I said, at this point, they still don't know what they're going to do, but they're trying to get rid of Patrice. And Corbin tries to bribe Patrice. On her live, she gives her $10,000, but then he gives her some more money, just in person to actually meet her to drop out of the race, which I thought, she was going to drop out. This isn't going to be a thing. But for Autumn, her situation with Andre is they basically used the Pink to push his campaign. Pink was a staple in Chucalissa, so they want to use the strip. Which if y'all seen your mayor, I probably would vote for him, but that's pretty cool to me. How would y'all?
No, that is not getting my vote. Like,
Quick letter I, humpback, Mississippi.
I'm still not voting for you. No. Like that entire scene blew me away because I legit was just like, this is not a real ad commercial. Yeah. Like there's no way Andre did this.
Jazz, but art imitated life, but light imitates art. You remember the lady previously? She was twerking in her campaign.
Yes. And I feel like it was something else that they was trying to push for they was twerking. Was it the vaccine or something? That's mad disrespectful. It was something else they did.
I think I did see one with the vaccine, and I'm just sitting here. Mm-hmm. We're like the past 2 to 3 years, we've been living in a Twilight Zone mixed with Black Mirror.
You see, they haven't dropped Black Mirror. We've been living it. They want to drop it.
Nothing is real anymore. So when I saw that politician, that I was just like, why is this twerking? But she's just like, I need to get people's attention. So this is what gets people's attention is twerking. I was just like, I get your methods, but
still not voting.
But this entire opening scene, I was just like, so he about to get votes because he got strippers shaking their ass and everything in the videos, throwing money. And I'm just like, Andre. Yeah, I didn't have any words. I was just like, what? Chris, what was you thinking? Chris probably was looking for his wallet, like, oh, let me throw some money at the He gets my votes.
Wait, where can I sign up? Early voting? What's up?
You vote twice.
Hey, man.
You're trying to get that man locked up.
Nah,
but
within that, but as they're going through the polls,
going to the polls.
A poll pulls up, right? Patrice on the pole. In the midst of the poll at the poll.
God. That was
on the pole at the poll. So she pulls up. I cannot. Oh my God! There is a funnier clip of Harriet Defoy. That's who plays Miss Patrice. There's a funny scene. I cannot find it for the life of me, but she's talking to Clifford.
It's on their TikTok. Did you not check their TikTok?
I didn't see it. I looked. I'm gonna look again, but basically
this man doing everything on TikTok. But look at I tell you.
Hey man, I'm trying to check them. Anyway, man, but look. So she before the season she wanted to get on the pole, and I'm glad they incorporated her being able to get on the pole. And she said, "Shit, I don't have to get the strippers, but I can do what the strippers do as best as I can to get to be able to get out to the people." And she basically poured the money back out to the people. She got all the money that Corbin gave, she's put it back out to the people, and she continued to stick out in a race. Which I have done that.
What, like gave folks my money
money back to the
or
people.
tried to go get some money that was in the air?
If you was Patrice, would you have dropped out the race after they gave you that money?
You go ahead, Chris.
No.
Oh, wait, you just wouldn't have dropped out, or you don't want to go first?
No, I wouldn't have dropped out. Because I think long term, you got power, the money gonna come. So I'm just thinking long term in that situation.
Right. I don't know. How much did they give her? It was 10K?
See, they gave her 10K in the live, but he gave her a lot more in person. So he gave her whatever that. Well, he didn't. They didn't specify what he actually gave her in person. But it was a. He said it's gonna be more from that if you go ahead and drop out of it, though.
Right. I guess it just depends on what my intentions are. If I'm just trying to use my influence to like actually help the people of the city, then I wouldn't have dropped out. But if I'm just like, let me piss some people off and just say I'm gonna run, just so they get less votes, then I would have definitely taken that money, pay some loans off. Buy some land,
Jazz loves the loans, bro. She's been talking about loans since episode 2.
I got student loans, Jason. They're not going nowhere, bro. They with me for life. Like, not saying that I don't appreciate. Look, Jason, those loans were around before this pod even existed. Like, what? Nah, like, but shout out to Joe for that extra 10K. That's gonna help. But
so after this, we got the situation, conversation between Cliff and Murda. Cliff and Murda actually talking.
They doing more than that.
We're not gonna, we're not gonna run back through the, they kind of, yeah,
Was this the episode where Murda made Cliff breakfast?
This is exactly that scene. Yeah.
He made his grits with, he said,
butter and sugar. That's the wait. There's no
food.
I'm not putting no sugar in my grits.
What do you so when you was eating grits the other day, you just ate them just gritty?
No, bruh. My grits
just gritty.
Like Jason think I got a peasant tongue. I do not.
You do if you don't eat it with sugar and butter.
No. First off, sugar and grits, no. I use butter, salt, pepper. Let me get some bacon bits in there. Let me get some eggs and some cheese. No. Oh, I be having my grits looking sexy.
Yeah, they can't. That ain't sexy. I'm just gonna tell you now. It's not. We not. No. If it ain't, the only way I eat grit, but I told you I only eat grits with shrimp. Like if it's shrimp and grits, I deal with it. But outside of that, I'm good on it.
So the fact that you even limit yourself when it comes to grits, how you gonna tell me how to eat grits?
Because I tried that and it's disgusting, Jazz.
You probably tried it from Arkansas or wherever the hell you from, which is not real season.
What you mean it ain't real? What you mean it can't? What you mean it ain't? You think these niggas can't cook down here?
I don't know what they can do. But if we got any Arkansas listeners, no disrespect to you, this is just within my trash talking of Jason.
It's crazy. That's crazy. So they so it's an up and down conversation. Not Cliff, but Murda is still contemplating if he should take the tour with Tina Snow. He's more so like, maybe I should stay here, within that. But Cliff, it's explained more so like in the next episode. But Cliff's more so like, you need to hit that road. There's nothing here for you. You need to go ahead and do all that. Grandmother's about to pass. She's likely to pass. I need to accept being alone anyway. There's no within that. And it pisses Murda off.
I mean, I think it would piss anybody off because realistically, if you look at that entire conversation, Cliff is self-sabotaging himself.
Yeah, he's pushing him away.
That is completely all that is. And he's scared of Murda leaving. The fact that you already got your grandmother killed off and she's still in the hospital, still alive, her chances might be low, but there's still a chance. So it's just like Cliff is automatically going to the negative and not thinking of opportunities that could be positive, that you and Murda could actually have something and that your grandmother will come home. So it's just, that was like complete self-sabotage the entire time.
It was basically, was that like a situation you choosing between his career and love?
That is exactly what that is.
For Murda, it is. For Murda, it is.
For Murda.
And then we kind of go back into the club. We go back to the club because we.
Chris, you got a question?
Oh,
I was gonna ask you. I mean, Jason, quick to go back to the club.
Oh, because we haven't, you know.
Like that.
I mean, that's my bad, bro. My bad, bro. Right, you got it, Chris.
Chris wanted to ask a question.
That's where I was going with it. Like in that situation, like career love, what y'all doing?
I'm choosing career.
Okay.
I'm choosing career. I don't know why I couldn't have both, but I'm definitely choosing career.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Especially with like, this ain't just like a 9 to 5. This is like something that could really, you know, catapult him. So
what you choosing, Chris?
In this situation, definitely career. But I'm with Jason, like ideally, why couldn't you have both? But realistically, we know that's not always the case. So
and I guess it's like a different situation. Because I mean, you see, you know, well, you don't really hear too often where rappers have like their significant other with them when they're doing all these tours. And you know, Cliff, kind of Jay, because you know you got there with Miss Tina Snow, and you doing XYZ. So you know he looking at it, she looking at it in that scenario, but it's not, you know, it's not that thing at all.
Yeah, he looking like he can't compete with Tina Snow. Is that what he thinking?
Yeah, I mean that's what it kind of seems like within that situation. But nah, man, it wasn't like that. Cliff kind of he kind of, not Cliff, but Murda kind of showed his cards like, this is what I want. You know, if you are what I want, you kind of, you know, kind of pushing me in a different direction. But yeah, now we go to the club now, Chris. You did.
You can go to the club.
So we go to the club. Keyshawn and Haley, they're talking. She pretty much trying to see she's just trying to doing a rundown between them, letting her know her actual secret, not her secret, but letting her know what's going on, what she gonna do. And she kind of tells that, you know, the babies are with her stepmom, which this bitch was a bitch a few episodes ago. So
yeah,
I just knew that situation wasn't gonna play out well when it actually came back up. You know, then she runs into Diamond. We finally get to see Keyshawn and Diamond. They haven't seen each other. Well, they seen each other at the beginning of this episode, at the beginning of the season, and he was just like, get out of my face, get the fuck from around here.
He ain't had that same energy this time though.
Nah, he didn't, because he been stuck.
He did. He's been thinking about it when he with Big Bone. So
man,
right.
You know,
that's love.
And then she done picked up her story, Jazz. She got her story. The big.
Jason, wait. Chris, why is that love? Jason, I need you to pay attention.
Jason kept going. I was like, hey.
Jason, slow down. Chris, why is that love?
You seen Big Bone? That's love.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy, Chris? That boy ain't even had a piece of Keyshawn. And he can't get off.
Oh, you right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
This whole time I'm thinking.
He never kissed his woman.
Nope.
He ain't never hugged her. Nothing. He just
seen the dance and that was enough for him.
Sometimes that's all.
Hey, I didn't even. You right. I forgot.
Remember that the one time that was for the kiss. I think like somebody walked up on him and they had to stop.
Yep.
You know, that was in the last season, so they ain't even kissed yet.
He ain't even been blessed with the magic. And look how he acted. See? Keyshawn, I need you to evolve, sis. Like, let me get a Pokemon gym and she needs to evolve out of that whole damn situation. Because I'm just like, yeah. But
I didn't realize that.
Wow. Yeah, so they you know, she, like I say, Jazz, she has her own story too. She talking about, you know, basically talking about Rapunzel. She said the big bad wolf has swallowed the key. Her hair is now finally long enough to be able to escape the place. And I guess he understood what the fuck she was saying. I was like, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sitting here and I'm like, I hope he don't think he about to throw it to me, because I'm just gonna throw it right back at him. Because I just didn't understand that story either. And I'm just like, can y'all cut this? And here come Big Bone. She might be thirsty, but I'm hungry. And I was like, yes, go get your man. And y'all both, like, her and Keyshawn, their wigs are both pink, except I think Keyshawn's wig is a brighter pink. So Diamond's probably not sure who's who, maybe.
Nah, you know who. Who.
Yeah, he know
Keyshawn looks a little small. The Big Bone is definitely her name. She's stout. She thick. Shawty,
Stout.
she's blessed.
Yeah, he in love with Keyshawn, so he's not gonna miss her. He's not gonna mistake her for nobody.
Yeah, nah, he ain't gonna mix them two up, Jazz.
My bad, fellas.
But in this episode, we get, we don't know if, Whisper's intuition is correct or not, but she's been right so far this season. She runs into Haley in the bathroom throwing up. She said, "Are you ready for them twins?"
Yeah, I hated the scene, bro. They ain't have to show the toilet.
It was
it's the paint. It goes down up in there.
Not that down. That's
nasty. So, within this, we get the, situation. They're still preparing for the actual reopening of the actual club. They still let the ladies work, so they let Keyshawn work with Mercedes to see how it's going to look for that actual evening. But Mercedes is still fucking up. She's still not doing well. And they ask her to do a base. Basically, they want her to be to watch over Keyshawn as opposed to being the star of the evening. Mercedes wasn't having it. She said, "Fuck y'all, kiss my ass. I'm out this bitch. Open it without me." And she jets out, and within the midst of this, her and Cliff have a nice conversation about, sometimes you got to change your dream, which, it's when you get like, so people don't really say a lot of that stuff. Like when you start growing up, like you may have a set goal. Like, so you get into the 30s, it's sometimes you can be successful in whatever you wanted, but if not, or you age out of it, now you're looking at a completely different thing. And it's kind of, Cliff was not only talking to her, but he was also talking to herself as well. How did y'all feel about that scene between them?
Yeah, that whole scene was interesting too, because even with Mercedes saying like the whole aging out thought process, you see what Keyshawn is doing. You see Roulette, who just got there. She's, making mad money. She had one scene where she had like a big bag of money, from doing whatever she, her diversifying her income. She getting it, and even Whisper. So now she kind of looking like, what am I doing right now? So I thought that was a good scene. I like how they tied that together.
Yeah, I definitely appreciated it, because when she was looking at Uncle Cliff, and she just like, "I need you to tell me the truth. Like, don't sugarcoat, don't try to root for me when I'm down. Be completely 100% honest with me." She was like, "Is Keyshawn better than me?" And then that's when Cliff was just like, "You got to switch your dream." And like you were saying, Jason, when we're younger, switching your dream once you get to a certain age is not even like, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to start over and switch their dream. But sometimes you have to. You get to a crossroad to where either you just gonna stay still and be in that miserable situation, afraid to move, or you just gonna say, if I switch it up, I know I'm gonna handle it better than what I was doing before. Mm-hmm. So it's like sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves when it comes to relationships, when it comes to goals, when it comes to life choices. And people don't realize that because they're so afraid of change. But realistically, change is a good thing. But
it is.
So. Got to be able to adapt to change.
Exactly.
Yep. I was raised on embrace change, because it's gonna happen all the time. Within this, Mercedes, she gets another call from Farrah, tell her to pull up to Memphis. Like it's just around the corner, but it's an hour drive. It's an hour drive.
Can you imagine getting a text from somebody, they like, "Yo, come through," and you like, "Wait a minute." You get the address, and you like, "Wait a minute, you not know come through distance." You
putting it in multiple GPS apps to make sure you got the distance right. You want to go where?
Question. What's
the fact that I know what the question
he was
is?
Going. I knew where he was going.
What's the furthest you guys have driven? For a significant other.
Go ahead, Chris.
2 hours.
Can it be switched to how far someone's driven for me?
No, I said you, because you have to do the drive.
An hour.
Did you take a plane?
No.
Okay, just making sure. I could insinuating there. because I thought, I said, because she said she tried to flip it. A 1 hour plane ride could have probably been like a 7 hour drive, but I don't know.
No.
I'm just making sure.
No, I was gonna say like how long someone was driven to see me instead of me driven to see them. But then I came up with a good estimate, and I was like, "Ooh, an hour should be safe." So an hour. But no, it was an hour. That wasn't a lie.
Now I'm curious. How long is someone driven to see you?
That wasn't the original question, but we can move on.
Oh, okay. I tried.
So Mercedes, she gets to Memphis, and she's in awe. The Mercedes experience. Like I said, this is a full, full circle moment, I guess would be the situation, because, remember at the beginning of the season, Mercedes was the draw of the Pussyland car wash. It was the Mercedes experience was the most expensive one you can actually get. And for me, this is something I just looked into, and I was just recently looking. I feel like, damn, she was correct in what she was saying, that the Mercedes experience was the actual draw, and it was worth a lot more than what she was actually selling it for. But then you put it in the right person's hands, look at what you can get from it.
That's a good point.
So, she's in this actual room, and she just hears all these different women celebrating her, because she hears, men, they looking at her in an objectifying way, but these women are looking at the empowerment of this Black woman being able to make herself look like there's no gravity. They're like, man, I'm never going to be that strong to be able to hold myself up like this. I'll never be able to look like this. I can't do, just hearing it. She just like
feel like a superhero, pretty
much. But then that.
It definitely seems like a situation to where when you see how Mercedes was in the first episode of this season, of her the name of her, which her performance that she was doing was on the sign outside of a strip club, and then her going to a full-on art show and seeing the Mercedes experience and seeing how strangers are viewing her and seeing her to where she didn't even see that within herself. And so sometimes it's like a quick reality to where you think I'm more than just this small plant. Like I am a giant tree, and just the energy that other people would bring in her just from looking at her art. So
I like that analogy, Jazz.
Look, I get deep with it, but I mean, it's one of the things to where that scene with her and her speaking on Farrah's artwork, we're made to believe that Mercedes embedded something in Farrah to make her want to get back into her photography, but then realistically, Farrah kind of did the same to Mercedes. Seeing her different angles and seeing sides of Mercedes that Mercedes didn't see in herself. So,
come on, Black women, speak life into
like
another
that's what I'm
one.
saying.
Come on. So, question. So within this conversation, Farrah, she pretty much says that she's going to leave Coach. Mercedes talks about, you're going to leave all that money. My question for y'all, would y'all rather be broke and happy or mad rich?
What's broke? Because everybody got different levels of broke.
It's your level.
I was going to ask what's rich. Your
level of rich. I'm not going to say what it's subjective in that conversation. So your whatever you feel like broke is, whatever you feel like rich is. What y'all think?
You want to go first, Jess?
No.
So for me, I think when you get to a certain point, it becomes too much. So in the sense of with Farrah, she's prioritizing her happiness. And I think the interesting thing here is she's rediscovered her passion. She has someone who, Coach didn't really appreciate it in the same way that Mercedes did coming into. So they helped each other. So now she sees that she has the confidence to branch out, and, she's going to be making money, also being happy. Why not rely on Coach?
Chris said all that to not answer the question.
No, I'm trying. I'm thinking, honestly, and I gotta say, I might, if it's in a situation with Farrah, I would probably leave and just go follow my passion, which would also make her money, and then she'll still be happy at the same time.
So I would choose say be broke and happy.
Well, broke, like Jason said, broke is subjective. What is broke? Like broke can't pay my bills, living on the street, of course not. But if it's a situation where you leaving someone who is like
but
mad
he said
money,
it's your level of broke, whatever you think.
Yeah, that's my level of broke. Being on the street, can't pay my rent.
So would you rather be out on the street and happy?
No.
So that means you.
That's why I did the fair analogy, because her situation, I can see why. Me, no. Like, no. I'll be sad on my couch.
I get what you're saying, but what future says? Shit, you gonna cry in that Nissan? You can cry in this Maybach. Shit, let me cry in the Maybach, my nigga.
Exactly. Nah. But I get why Fair did it.
What you got, Jazz?
Look.
Hey, look, I've noticed something. When Jazz speaks to us, she speaks like from like a rich standpoint. Cause like she said, every time whenever she says something, it's like the rich auntie. That's who Jazz is. She's the rich auntie.
New narrative alert, yes sir. New narrative alert, yes sir.
Oh, okay. I'm over here thinking like, when did she do this last? The 10K. Every time Jazz say a situation, she always give us, ask me in a year. I'll see what I think. I'll think about it. Every conversation when it comes to making money in a situation, Jazz say, ask me in a year. What you mean a year?
I don't even give me an example where I said that, because the 10K.
Last week I said, would you do the 10K?
Oh, the experience, yeah, he did.
Would you do the Mercedes experience for 10K with an old black man? You said, ask me in about a year. I think about it. I'm like, we talking about right now though.
Oh, but no, that was just, I wasn't thinking about the financial aspect. I was just thinking about what my mentality is.
I know what you're thinking about, because you're the rich auntie. You ain't thinking about the money of it.
You just scared into the Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. Oh man.
I was tricked.
And Jay said, no.
I don't even know how we got here. Can we get back on track?
We actually are on track, but we can go back within this situation. So the pink is opening. They're trying to they're getting ready to get the club open. Clipper sees Toy. Toy done coughed in the club after she done gave my grandmama the COVID. You gotta go, bro. And I told y'all, remember, I said she'd be shitting and she just be doing a whole bunch of extra stuff in the club before she go outside. And Cliff said, you just be poop, you just be shitting and coughing on everybody. You got to get out of here. You got to go. Would y'all to fire her as well?
I would have fired her as soon as she coughed in the mouth of the Lauren, who's the reason why we are at 50% capacity and had to move up to 75. We had to drop so many coins. She would have been gone then. I wouldn't have gave her no second chance.
Ain't no second chances.
Nah. That's a dub. And it was funny too. Wasn't this the scene when they was in the locker room? It's like somebody sneezed or coughed and they had to hold it in or something.
Yeah, the other girl, she said, I swallowed wrong.
That's how it was though. Like, you was scared to sneeze, boy.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
bruh, gotta help.
You be in the grocery store like,
I remember one time I was on a plane to North Carolina and I had my mask on and everything, and I was like, oh God, I feel a cough coming. I said, I can't do it though. And I didn't have nothing to drink. I was like, oh God.
Yeah, was fighting for her life, boy.
Tears was running down my face. I was like, I'm about to die, so I don't cough on this plane. Man. Yeah, it was wild. But now, people just be coughing, sneezing.
No mask. They just living life now. Living life like it's like but people is. And within this situation with Toy, this wasn't, we get a hopefully, Gail Bean, she plays Roulette. She gets a starring role, or a reoccurring role where she's a more of a star, because
I think
I feel like she will. Yeah, I think
she killed this. So she basically, she is becoming a pimp in this situation. She takes care of Toy. She said, "No, you good. You don't owe me nothing, in that situation. But I just don't think people give you things without, looking for something on the backside."
Yeah. She got that jaded mentality, which is, valid, especially in this situation.
You said she got that what mentality?
Jaded mentality. Like,
oh,
you're not doing this just for, out of the kindness of your heart. You want something in return.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you got Whisper sitting there like, she takes care of me too. And I'm just like, Roulette gonna cause so many problems in season 3.
That's exactly what I thought too.
I'm just like, nah, because whatever she's doing, like, I feel like it's gonna get to maybe 50% of the girls. And Cliff doesn't have her old guaranteed women there because Mercedes is gone, and like, we Mississippi and everything. So it's just like, which like main girls does Cliff have?
Right.
No, Toy. He just fired. She just fired her.
She got too many illnesses.
Yeah, too many illnesses.
Shit, Toy was in season 1. I'm just saying she was, but she ain't. Gidget already gone. Mercedes is, she's done.
I can see Gidget coming back.
We know Keyshawn is getting. I don't want to see the Gidget Duffy Roulette situation.
That's what I was thinking.
Because Gidget gonna get her ass drugged. She gonna get her ass beat. You know what? Bring her back. I want to see that. Bring her back. I would let her get beat.
Let her get dog walked. Get her out of here.
Because we know she can fight. We know Roulette can fight. She already whooped the girl in there already.
Brazilian. Was that what was Brazil? I think Brazil. She ain't have to do that girl like that. Damn,
hey, man.
Homegirl mouth was all messed up. I was
put in the wrestling moves. Like, where you learn that at? Big ass. Like,
and it was recorded on live, so I was just like, sis, you can't show back up at the paint. But
hey, man.
And then within this, we fig murder is on we got all these different situations, and then Nineveh, one of Cliff's homies, who is now the mother of the actual Pink, has a video shows Cliff is not Cliff, but Murder is pulling up to the Pink with Tina Snow. Within this, and they at capacity. And now this is gonna bring out so many more people within this situation. And Cliff, we get our, first reveal. We knew Meg was in the actual show, but we heard her voice, and then she's on the song. But then Meg, Meg and Murder pull up to the club, and we had a situation where we see the Jay situation play out between Cliff looking at Tina. And he said, y'all go break a leg, like y'all go work on this performance y'all got going on, more so talking about the act that they putting on for the people as opposed to the actual song. But then Nineveh tells Cliff, you got a customer in the room. He's like, when you start getting customers, and we
jealous. Crazy.
Hey man, after I done opened up my body to you, bro, what you doing? Look at you. Look at Jazz's face.
Nope.
Jazz said, nope, you're not getting me.
I am not falling for that trap. You tried it.
So we go into the room. It's Corbin. Corbin is back. Corbin is, he pretty much is thanking Cliff for giving him that new idea that they no longer need the Pink to do what he needs. So he's willing to pay him the worth of the club. Well, to get the club back from Haley to beat him, because that's what he's used to being. And like I said, I thought this was something new, but in season 1, there was a scene of Mercedes and Keyshawn beating him in the action room. But I guess Cliff got a stronger hand for him.
It would make sense. It would make sense.
Yeah. So he gives him. He basically gives him his $250,000 to retain power back from his actual his club. But then this, we have a situation of Andre is in the actual club because he's still on his campaign. They're going to do the actual polls that evening. Andre, you want to take that one, Jazz? With Andre?
I mean, he tried to do a little twerk session on the poll, but it just did not work. He thought he was what's her name?
Patrice.
Patrice. He thought he was Patrice, but it was just like, nah, not at all. So him and Haley are in the back. Haley's all, let's go ahead and get out of here. We don't want to be doing any kind of kissing because you're still married and I'm your mistress. And she mentioned that a few times. So they go back to his place and we see who's there.
The nerve.
Brittany.
Hey, Brittany.
So Okay, I can't defend her. There's nothing I could do. That's actually in episode 10. Let's not even deep dive into that. But that scene leaves with Brittany being there, seeing Andre and Haley's Breaker of Chains, Savage, Autumn in the house. So we'll come back to them, Jason, because I definitely want to. I got a question for y'all on that scene.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So within this, the strippers are getting ready to go out. Roulette is about to go out. She pulls up on Duffy. Duffy, he gets a little finger pop before she hits the stage. Before she gets out. Then as Tina and Murda is performing, their crews collide in the actual crowd. Their crews collide. They start to try to bum rush Murda on the stage, and he's knocking them out as they come up on the stage, and he runs to the back, and then he finally, he doesn't open up, but he begins to reveal more of who he is to Cliff, and he tells them, they playing me while I'm on the stage, they playing with me here, like that's crazy. They wouldn't. That's mad disrespectful. I've already, what they block up. He's like, wait, is that what I helped you cover up? He was like, nah, that ain't that situation. That's not that situation at all. And then he walks off. He goes to the actual room by himself, listening to his music to calm down. And we have another full circle moment. We had the situation when they first came on. When the show first comes on, Murda is faking and flogging for to get into the actual club. He's up and coming rapper, but he wasn't known. He's trying to get with Mercedes, and he still to this day is still nervous around Mercedes, just being who he is. And his music is getting better. And this is a dope scene because she's sitting on a throne.
Yeah.
So she's sitting on a throne. That's the OG, and the entire night is just like a high for her because everybody's complimenting her. They boosted her head up, which, like I said, she definitely she needed it because the entire season she's been in a low.
Yeah.
So now everybody is uplifting her. He's just telling he's talking to her, which, like I said, was kind of disrespectful, but that's how people talk. He's uplifting her. He let her hear the song. She finally blesses one of his tracks, but at the same exact time, Cliff is frustrated with the conversation he had. He throws something, and it's drugs, basically. It was some drugs that not Duffy, but Big L has been holding. And he kind of tells that. What did y'all think about this scene with Big L and Cliff? This conversation.
Yeah, this when he fired him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the emotion got to him, and like you said, with Mercedes leaving, she came back, of course, but Keyshawn, everybody else, Big L is one of the people who's loyal. He not one of the girls, but he is that's his right hand man. And I just, he just really acted out of emotion with everything going on. I didn't feel like he fired him for real. I just felt like that was set up for the next season. So.
Yeah, I think with that scene, I can understand Clifford being upset because we're not trying to deal with drugs.
Right, with everything else.
Right, but I also understand Big L's position because it's just we're not bringing in the amount that we need. You're not trying to lose your club, and we got stuff that we got to make sure we pay for, and we're not getting that from having 75% of people being able to come into the club. So Big L's thinking from a financial standpoint, we need this money so we can keep this club open. But I understand Uncle Cliff's position because it's just you don't want to get in the drug game because we've all seen different movies, TV shows, documentaries, maybe not Jason because he hates those bars. But it's just
Jazz Murda.
Oh, I like that, Chris. But we've seen it to where when people get involved in the drug game of holding drugs or being that middleman, it never works out. Yeah. So I understand both sides. But when Cliff threw them drugs, I said, that's product. You need to relax. You throwing product around.
Exactly. and it kind of the episode. I mean, you have like little minor moments. You have Pico, mama, baby mama. She's upset about Murda being on stage, and she feels it in her belly. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I hated
You
that.
have, you have Big Bone. You have Big Bone contemplating. She has a picture. We see that she took a picture of the ring in Diamond House, so she's contemplating doing something. We don't know what she's about to do, but it shows she can possibly send it to somebody.
Yeah.
And then you have the last scene of the actual episode when Keyshawn is basically, she did her final dance, and Maine asked Mercedes, why you ain't up there tonight? And he was like, sometimes the bitches want to sit back and look at some art. So she had an appreciation to finally just, Mercedes kind of made me feel like a big basketball, like a Kobe Bryant, maybe D Wade type situation, like at the end of their career.
Passing the torch.
Yeah, in that situation, like they kind of passing it, but like they going through like these injuries, and then like it's like I can't give what I can, but I still have it in me, but I don't have it, type situation. So that's what I kind of felt like within that. She wrote on there, "I'll be your sister for life," on her vanity, then she leaves. That was the end of episode 9. Did y'all have anything?
But I will say, Cliff saw Keyshawn before Keyshawn left.
Yeah.
And Cliff was just like,
don't leave me like that.
I mean, Keyshawn thought Cliff was completely done with her, but Cliff was just like, life is short, and things in life happen unexpected. She's just like, at the end of the day, you are beautiful. Get as far away from this club as possible, which is foreshadowing as well, because they're just like, that was Keyshawn's last dance.
Yeah.
So just that relationship, because I'm sure the entire season we thought everybody at the Pink hated Keyshawn, of course, except for Haley / Mother of Dragon / Autumn. // So
first of her name.
Right.
Mad names, bro. Jesus.
But just that her saying that farewell, I thought was a really special moment, that it was good to see. And then we get the phone call. Uncle Cliff gets a phone call from the hospital.
Yeah.
And then we get a to be continued, and you gotta wait 7 fucking days to see what happens next. And it's just like, I hate all of y'all, because who does that, But and then it goes into episode 10, Jason.
Yeah.
Mississippi rules. So it opens back up.
Yeah, before we get to 10, I think another important part was when the whole commotion was going on between Murda's crew and, Maine and everybody. Mississippi Keyshawn rather was on stage, and Diamond came and rescued her.
That's
and
right.
Then they shared the kiss. Big Bone, she kissed him, and Big Bone seen that. Well, she did.
Hold up.
Uh-oh.
But that kiss lasted a long time, and if you look close,
it may have been slow mo. I think the screen was in slow motion. Jay.
No,
I think he was like, oh, I think he was like shocked, like I can't believe it. The camera was like something like.
Is this y'all using y'all whole black men don't cheat bullshit? Because Diamond,
I love that. That was
Diamond was like really in there. He went back into that kiss, because if you see, he damn sure did. So wait, and then as he was, what you about to say, Chris?
Wait, does
it's
it
not
count?
Cheating if she kissed him first?
No, is it cheating if you like in love with her and you're not in love with you? Sorry. Thought about it. Then as I said it, I said, no, this is bad.
But you know what's crazy? I've had a conversation that asked that same question, but we not doing that. I don't know who's listening. So.
Valid question. Oh man, no, but of course, Big Bone, seeing that's the reason she sent the picture to whoever she sent to.
Yeah. So we open up, in episode 10, we get the argument between Brittany and Andre. They in the house going back and forth. She really wouldn't be able to argue with me. Bitch, you was on your knees. I synced it. There's no argument. There's no conversation that we need to be having in this.
So first off, Brittany, she wasn't on her knees. She was sitting at the edge of the bed, and he was standing up. That is what was happening in that scene. If I was her lawyer, that's what I would say.
I only seen it one time, Jazz. I couldn't take it twice.
His heart couldn't take it. The pain.
I felt for this brother.
But Jason, here I go. Let me see how many seconds she had to fix her situation.
Bruh.
Man, look.
But during this scene, did you see how Haley, as if the camera was zooming in, she's smiling? She's loving this interaction.
Yeah.
Haley she is a villain and a semi-hero.
And you know another thing about Haley too. Everything that's going on in this whole season is because of her situation. But it's like she's moved on like it's nothing. Like Keyshawn's still dealing with, you know, her and Diamond. I'm talking about from Murder Night. Like Keyshawn dealing with stuff, Diamond dealing with his stuff, Mercedes, her show, like the 7 pounds of that's because of what happened with her. Like all of it, the whole you know, the selling of the pink, that's her. Like all of this is because of her. And she just up there smiling at the end. Like, bro.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
she a super villain, bro.
She's a super villain.
She's a super villain.
In this, she's Dr. Doom, bro.
They tried to protect her, and bro, she was not down for the cause.
It's definitely one of those situations to where you put everything on the line for somebody, and then they benefit, but you don't.
Yeah.
And the fact that Haley doesn't have any type of connection, and the way that she was moving this entire series,
yeah,
she's a terrible person, but not to Keyshawn. So I'm gonna give her 37.64%.
Man,
specific. Yeah, I guess that's their way of trying to not make her too horrible. So
right.
We had this situation between them, and they're actually Brittany and Andre are having this conversation, and she's throwing Haley in the situation. Haley trying to take her for herself within that conversation. And they see the people outside lining up, looking or feeling as if Andre has won the actual election. That's what it's made to appear. And Andre kind of, as he's talking to Brittany, he says that you're in love with this man that you're actually dealing with, and she says, "No, I'm in love with you, but Andre is in love with Haley," which is just a fucked up all the situation all the way around. But I don't know how she can say you don't love me, bruh. Like Brittany, nah, you gotta relax.
She was wild to even show up and to be mad. That Andre, I was just like, you can't be mad for real, sis, because he caught you in y'all house with another man, and
he was comfortable. Like that's what's getting me, bro. Yeah, bro. Like
super.
Yeah, I mean, Haley wasn't comfortable yet. She still had her whole outfit on. But yeah.
So they but then he finally steps outside and he gets a phone call from Kyle Corbin. He's pretty much telling him, before you speak, just be sure. He had, just telling them about, what a great race, you did a great run, and what and he basically tells them he loses, but then you can finally hear what the people are saying outside. They pretty much saying, we love you regardless of what you did. You had a good race. We appreciate you. But then it spins over to Patrice in her situation. She's in the dark. Like I said, this scene was actually this episode 10 was probably one of the best shot episodes besides the Mississippi one. How they did that little montage from this to Murder, his song as he was rapping, and it drops the beat out, but it's just the bass line still going. Then you see Patrice, and they call Patrice, and he tells her that she won.
That was fire.
How she actually won the actual election at the end. And Andre said he pretty much is going to stay in Chucalissa. He's going to stay in Chucalissa and start a law firm. Brittany kind of looks at him like, I can't believe this motherfucker really gonna try to bring us back here. What you got, Jazz?
She shouldn't have been cheating. If you wasn't cheating, then maybe he would have asked for your opinion, but you was cheating. Obviously, he thought you didn't have nothing to say because your mouth was full of something else anyway. Bars. So I didn't feel bad for Brittany at all. She is terrible. So
I told y'all last week, Jazz album coming out next summer. She giving y'all a tip. She
giving you a little.
Yeah, she giving you a little something.
I've been in the studio.
Okay, I'm with it.
Who? You got bar? You got okay? We're gonna see what them bars are, Jazz.
Nah, I've been dropping it this entire episode, so you're not about to get no whole bunch of bars at the end.
Yeah, where you been at?
Dropping your bars like that's how you dropping your bars just throughout the episode like that.
Yeah, Jason's looking at all his notes. He just missing them.
He missing every bar. Poor guy.
I'm not. I promise I'm not. I'm here. I'm here with you.
Are we about to cover Mercedes' last dance?
We got to.
I'm wondering, like,
that's been the thing since episode 1 of last year, like 3 years ago. Miss Hater been trying to get her last dance off for 3 goddamn years. A pandemic, a bomb shoulder, a killing, murdering the guy. Mercedes, shit.
You just want to leave.
What y'all think?
Fire. This was fire. Like I said, that was, so first you got the situation of they've been waiting for Murder to basically claim that he killed Pico. And with this song, he kind of confirms he the one that knocked off Pico. And he says it's a 7 pound. Jazz, could you get off to could you dance to this song?
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about the 7 pounds of pressure. I'm gonna take 7 pounds.
Jazz got into it, boy. She was about to take her somewhere else.
Hey, be up in there communicating threats from a distance. I just.
So while we're here, next question: who is you guys' favorite fictional rapper? Do y'all have one? Can y'all even think of one? If y'all need help, I'll just throw some shit out there. You got B Rabbit in 8 Mile. You got DJ in Hustle and Flow.
First of all, don't ever give me the option of Eminem ever again. Don't do that.
So you saying B Rabbit wasn't fire? Like, he was losing himself and dropping bars. What?
Don't give me the option of Eminem ever again.
I was just trying to throw some, some different. Again, you got, MC Gusto in CB4. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
Chris, you know that?
No, but go ahead.
See, Jazz, says you spoke too confidently for 2 people over here, Jazz. You got to relax.
Have you not seen CB4?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Straight out of low cash, crazy motherfucker named Gusto. I fuck your wife because a bitch is a big hoe. I fuck your sister. I fuck your cat. I will fuck your mom, but the bitch is too.
So you seen it like a million.
Jazz is a hater, bro. Hater, bro.
Nah, that was fire. I'm not even gonna like.
It hurt her. It pained her to give you that credit too. She was just, it's like, I guess I have to.
So if y'all had to pick your favorite fictional rapper, do y'all have one? If y'all can just thinking.
And this time, Murda up there.
Murda is JF Funds. He's done a hell of a job from doing the rapping portion to the acting portion. I want to see him in something else because I feel like he has the range to do it. And please don't typecast his brother in another thug role. I want to see him in something else.
I did post something on my Instagram this past week of
You're right.
Some projects that are coming out, and he was one of the stars that was shown on that post. So I think we'll be getting more from him. And looking at the cast, it wasn't giving me a thug character vibe, but all I see is the cast, and I see upcoming movie, and then I post it on my IG because seeing like young Black talent, I absolutely love it. So, and he's from, I believe he's from North Carolina, so that's my home state.
Oh, okay. So I know you really.
He is. He's from out there.
Like, some of my people know his people, so.
What's up?
That's what's up.
Try to get him to come to the pod. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that'd be fire.
Yeah. Do that. Work your magic, Jess.
No, just I could just imagine the hate that y'all would give if I did that. Y'all
hating? What you mean?
Wait, I'm gonna uplift you at any time. What do you mean?
Nah, that's y'all go because I'm be talking my shit. So
are we fighting back? Or are we just not taking your shit? Which one is?
Just don't say nothing. Like when I come into the room, just be like Queen Jazz. But that's all you gotta say.
Look who Jazz want to be. She want to be the breaker of chains. Jazz Targaryen, get out of here.
Nah, not them. They be too close to their family. It's kind of crazy.
Too close? No, they are too. They shit. It is family here. I know too close. But I think Murda. Like I said, MC Gusto, which was played by Chris Rock. I think those two. I probably know that like every rap in that movie. Probably. Like I don't know movies, but like words. But yeah.
What's the dude from Boondocks?
Thugnificent.
Damn.
Thugnificent.
Him.
Yeah.
What was the other one's name?
I don't know.
It was the one that had the fro.
The booty butt cheeks. That one.
Maybe.
Why is it the first thing? Never mind.
I feel like that's one of the songs she was singing, like booty butt. I don't know.
I don't know. I have to look that up.
Shout out to Boondocks.
I'm gonna let y'all think. I'm gonna let y'all think on.
That'd be a good poll option too.
What
for the page? Like your favorite fictional rapper? Yeah, we could post that up.
I'm gonna have to look up some people to see. But within this murder scene, we have where he steps into the mirror. The entire season, we see growth, development of murder. He goes from this flossy, glossed out thing, and one of the conversations he had with Wody was just saying that the chains that you wear is like an anchor, and you weigh not just yourself but the people around you down. So like he strips the color out. He no longer has color in his hair. He no longer has chains on. He's just murder, just himself. And he looks at himself. It shows him as a kid. It shows him from the beginning when he was faking to how he is now, and he just finally has accepted himself as who as he is. And he walks out. He sings the song, and like I said, he does it a cappella. In the beginning, that's just like I said, the performance piece in that is just so it was done very well.
It was
within that. Then you got Mercedes. She comes out and she finally gets her last dance. Like she gets to walk off. Like as far as when within that. But it was like I said, it was a bomb. The way they filmed it. Above his head when she was on top of the things. When she jumped over and hit the split. Oh yeah, she killed that. What happened?
Jason gonna make noise once a week, bro.
But Cliff didn't see it. Cliff didn't get to watch the performance because Cliff was in the back. He's overwhelmed with joy because grandmother didn't die. Grandmother, she got a phone call. Grandmother survived. He's saying, like I said, they country of hell. So she's saying she didn't drink the water. Cliff, Murda knows.
Murda,
he gets it because he's always around. But Mercedes is like, what the hell is this man talking about? She didn't drink the water.
Right, and the whole fact that she was being visited by her daughter, bringing her a drink, and she's just like, no, not yet, baby, not yet. And so, like, her daughter would just leave and then come back in different visions. So, I thought that was shot very well.
Yeah, she was definitely fighting for her life there. And then you got the next morning they wake up. They have another conversation about whether he should leave or whether he should stay. We got more of Cliff still pushing him away. Cliff kind of pushes him out, and this time he really gets pissed off, and they don't even talk anymore. He said, I'm gonna just get my shit and I'm out of here. He grabs his stuff, he leaves. Grandmother comes home. But I think Big L was at the actual door. And he brought grandmother home.
And then Big L was right after him.
Yeah.
And then Big L comes after, and then as grandmother is walking through the house, Cliff sees his mama again. Mama's in the actual house, sitting, chilling. Like you was wrong for what you told that boy. You out here, you making sure everybody else cool except yourself, but then you pushing people away from you. Like you can't be like that. How did what y'all feel with this scene here with Cliff and his mom?
I thought it was well done. Take notes, Screen 5. This is how you do a type of scene. No, it was well done. I liked it.
Nah, I think it was a really good scene because sometimes when we go through life, we don't really have those situations to where we reflect on things that we've said to people or done in certain situations. And so with Cliff's mother coming to visit, it's like, look, I see what you're doing. You making sure, like you said, Jason, everybody's good, but you got to make sure you look out for you as well. Like, why can't you be happy just like everybody around you? And so I thought with the visit from the mother, I thought that was a good touch. Like if y'all had a loved one that's no longer with us that came to you on like just some random, like after a situation that you may have didn't handle correctly, they look at you like, now damn well you should have said this or you should have said that. Like, how would y'all react? Would y'all just listen to their advice, or would you go about it like you don't know what you're talking about?
Nah, who I got in mind, I definitely listen. I'll probably cry. I'll probably pull a Jason and cry.
Oh, well, I mean, crying gonna be automatic. That's
oh yeah, I know. I just wanted to take a shot at Jason right quick.
Jason be crying at the daggone gas station, like when they got his favorite snacks. He cry all the time.
Are we fat shaming on this podcast?
What? I just said favorite snacks. I don't
think I'm gonna cry because I got my favorite snack.
I mean, realistically, if I see some pistachio nut, salt, and pepper, I'm gonna cry because they're never on the shelf.
Honestly, depending on the snack, you may have some tears because some of them, especially the ones you can't find at like specific place.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah, you can't get them at your regular gas station. Then you hit up like
y'all not gonna play in my face and call me fat like this. So we're gonna go to the next scene.
No one said that. No one said that at all.
I thought we were being vulnerable, but Jason feels attacked.
I do. Let me grab my cookies because I'm sick of this shit.
Did you grab any tacos?
Are they chocolate chip or sugar cookies?
This is not a cookie.
This is not a sponsorship.
Chunky, and they say chunky. So we're not calling you chunky. The cookies is calling you chunky.
So we have the Mississippi. She getting ready to go on a run, and you have like a voiceover, and they were saying, sometimes, they say fairy tales are just horror movies with happy endings, which makes a lot of sense. If you just really think about all the different stories and different things and how they play out. Before she leaves, she links up with her brother. She links up with Murda. This was a super cute scene. They get to talk and they just talk about, I'm gonna miss you, but I'm gonna definitely miss Uncle Clifford. And she was like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna miss her more than you though, because that was we had a different situation, but y'all have definitely a different situation. And he finally pays her the money that he owed. He felt that he owed her. He owed her from the video and just the things that she was bringing to him, and he was able to pay her back. Like I said, Murda genuinely is just a good dude. He's not trying to deal with too many people. He just giving just somebody of circumstance. Then she goes to pick up her kids. She goes to her stepmother's house to pick up the kids. But Jazz, what you?
The actress that they have for her stepmother, she does an amazing job being the villain. Mm-hmm. An amazing job. Everything that she's in, she's a villain. And so you see, she opened the door for Keyshawn, and Keyshawn's like, "Oh, I'm just here to pick up the kids," and she's just like, "Oh, I already called Derek. Derek already got him." And then you see her sister in the background, like her sister knew the entire plan, but her mother or her stepmom just completely messed everything up. So Keyshawn knew right then and there, like, she was screwed.
Yeah.
And it's extremely unfortunate because we've seen all the stuff that Keyshawn went through this season. Mm-hmm. Last season too, and it's just like, we want her to win. She got the funds now. She got the courage now. Because normally sometimes they say when someone's in an abusive situation, they won't get out until they are ready to leave. Mm-hmm. Keyshawn was ready. Keyshawn had all of her ducks in a row. And then that hating ass stepmama. Oh, Derek. I was just like,
my heart dropped. My heart dropped.
Yeah, that was tough. I'm not gonna lie
to you. I was just like, I just want her to win. It's like one of those situations you want the character to win, even though realistically you look at it, you just like, if Keyshawn were to leave, she would be off the show. So as a viewer, I was like, well, I don't want her to be off the show yet. I like her character. So something's got to happen for her to stay.
That's a good question. So I was going to ask y'all, you watched The Boys, and Chris felt like it was a cop-out in how they didn't kill Homelander when he had him dead to rights. Did y'all feel the same thing with Keyshawn? I feel like this was like it was a cop-out, you felt?
No, I don't think it was a cop-out. I just think they have more to her story that they can add. And it was just for that situation to keep her on the show.
Yeah.
Derek had to win. She could not leave. A wrench had to be thrown at her plans. Now, well, I'll save my other comment.
So I'm gonna say with this situation, I do want to go ahead and, because this storyline was probably the most like Chris kind of said, it was probably felt like it probably was the main storyline of this season. But because I don't want to end the podcast on a sad note, so I want to get this shit out the way. And we can go to the happiness in here. So you go ahead, Chris.
No, I was gonna say I didn't think it was a cop out. I thought that they just had more story to tell, and I feel like the only way that this Keyshawn, storyline will be resolved is if Derek gets, get him out of here. So that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's man, and so she makes it home. She's talking to Derek, she's basically trying to explain herself, but CPS walks in. CPS is in the house, and Keyshawn, and she just like blanks out. And like I'm shocked she didn't kill him then. Like that situation, I thought she was gonna kill him right then and there, cause like she blinked out, and like I was like, I didn't really. I'm not gonna say I haven't really seen range, but I haven't really seen range from Keyshawn. You see her more so like the soft character throughout the entire show for the last two seasons. She's been a soft, but this is the time when Keyshawn. Well, she turns up when she was dealing with Rome in the last season when he was disrespecting Clifford, but then this time she snaps. And like I felt like every emotion that she felt in that situation, I was like, bro, this nigga, bro. Like, and I don't like, it's kind of almost like they allowing the white guy to win in this situation because like he's just sitting there like, oh well, look what we got to deal with, and like they give her like, this she's gonna be on an investigation for 6 months. She got a drug test, she got to go through a psych evaluation, just a whole bunch of bullshit. But like this guy is like, he's terroristic in the home. He's beating kids. He's beating her.
No consequences yet again.
Man, just every time, white folks, man, I tell you. And like I said, she goes, so she gets arrested, basically, goes to jail within that situation. And she, she calls to Diamond. She reaches out to Diamond, and this plays back to season 1, episode 1 of season 1. Diamond told her he can take care of it. He'll take care of the situation for her. And he gets the phone call from her. And she goes back to that weak ass parable and just asks him, can he take care of the situation? But I'm assuming he was going to go handle that within that, but he gets captured by Chris's best friend, Big Bone, on his way.
Yeah, so to me, this whole scene threw me off because they had Big Bone out there like she was like an assassin or like a ninja or something. Like she was just like
she kicked his ass.
Yeah,
she
and like
kicked his ass, bro.
It threw like she had the other dude there, but it just threw me off when she took off her mask at the end. I'm like, that was her like this whole time. She can't strip, but she can beat up Diamond. Like, what is that? That just threw me off. Like, yeah. So that was just
Diamond don't have luck with women. I would just probably go be a Mormon or something, because like that's why every woman he deals with put him in a situation that's gonna get him killed.
Look at Jazz face. Jazz, I won't get you killed.
I won't. I won't.
Jazz was looking like I'm right here.
Hey man, Jazz, you wild.
I ain't even say nothing.
Your face said no. We can see it.
And then we have we have Mercedes. Mercedes is at home. And Farrah sends her one of the pictures that she hung up so she was like, she's happy, but she also sends her a check for $30,000. And she was like, is that how art works? And she was like, I mean, sometimes, we can make our own prices if we can, but if we put ourselves in the proper situation, it can be it can produce, the funds. It's one of a dope scene of Mercedes. She's able to afford her club, but she changes what she was going to do, because when it starts, she's doing a kids club, and now she's going to do like a pole dancing, which is the market with that, and it is actually expanding now. A lot of people are trying to learn those sensual dancings.
Yeah. What?
And then what?
Nope. I thought you was about to have a follow-up question. I was about to go ahead and cut you off at the knees.
She's picking up on my shit now. Let me. I gotta come a different way. But it was dope. She had on a Black Dolph shirt. Dolph was killed last year, so I'm assuming they was able to film this within that time frame, because she did have the shirt on that was commemorating his death. But it was, I think the wife, It's something that she created before he actually passed, where it was, basically saying black men deserve to grow old. And it was just a campaign she did, and she always, if you go to her page, she's been celebrating and doing it. Unfortunately, he was gunned down back at home. So that was just dope for them to incorporate that in the actual show. That she's dancing to that. She was dancing to the Jasmine Sullivan song. That was real, like nice when she's going there. But then Patrice pulls up. She runs into Patrice.
Where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside, where the blessings reside.
She brought one of the biggest blessings within that situation. She said she on her prayer line, Shell reaches out to her and basically tells her that she's struggling. She wants to be better, but she can't get better, but she's going to get better, and asks her to help raise the baby. With she said, because being a mother, because I'm being a mayor, but I also running my church, I'm not gonna have time for it. And Mercedes gets that happy ending. Mercedes gets her baby, Terica. She gives her Terica. That was a nice embrace, but like I said, it was just dope to see somebody get happy. We have a few happy endings within the finale. Andre is at the house. The next morning, all the women coming to the house, giving them food, apple pies. You got Shorty, Brittany on the actual porch, just looking like she's just disgusted.
It was just so weird to me. I'm like, these heifers is lined up like kids during Christmas trying to sit on Santa's lap. They in a single file line. Don't make that face like, oh, Andre Santa. Like, I mean, a lot of them definitely look like they would love to sit on his lap, but I was just like, what is going on? But Mississippi.
Man, and then Haley, she pulls up. She got cigars. Typically, cigars represent a man that's having a child. They typically give you a cigar. So she gives him a cigar. He starts smoking. He's like, what's the occasion? And she was like, never mind. I ain't gonna, cause she asked him first, what are y'all gonna do? And he was like, I'm gonna stay, whether she stays or go, I don't know. I don't want to have my, my shit business all out in the. He kind of shuns the situation of baby daddy, baby mama, and so I feel like that's what makes her hesitate to actually tell him what she was going to tell him the night before. And she was like, sometimes the stuff that we don't say hunts us the most. And she just dips out like Batman once again.
So she wants to be haunted by what she doesn't tell him?
I'm assuming so, Jazz. She don't make a lot of sense. She don't make a lot of sense.
She talks his stories.
But then as she's pulling off, she reaches out to Georgie again. She on her big girl shit. What you think about this scene, Jazz?
She got played.
No, she did not get played. She played herself.
I mean,
Georgie told her. Georgie told her what to do.
Her past self played her current self, which really played her future self.
Ooh.
Because
bars.
That's got to be bars. That's got to be bars.
Let's go.
I see you hit the Johnny Manziel. Was it?
I don't know what it was. But nah, because like the thing is, I believe Haley said, and I don't know who she said it to, but she said either tomorrow I'm gonna be a rich bitch or I'm gonna be a dumb bitch. And we come to find out which bitch she exactly became. And it wasn't a rich bitch. Because like her sitting here thinking, now she didn't get that 5 million because they were able to come up with another scenario where they didn't even need the pink. And so Haley's sitting here, she over here chasing Andre, when she should have been focusing on the king and queen, which is the queen was sis, what was her name, Jason?
Georgie.
She should have been focusing on Georgie, and she should have been focusing on one of the what's the dude that paid Clifton? Kyle. Yeah, those are the people that you should have been focusing on. Kyle, right. So I mean, she basically
played herself.
Actually, no, should have been paying attention to Clifford. Clifford, the one that fucked her out of everything. But again, that's what goes back to that whole family, that whole thing. She played herself, trying not to include them in what was going on, trying to make these underhanded, shiesty deals, and
yeah.
I mean, it's just like the whole time, like Haley was definitely a roller coaster. She was winning winning L, and I guess realistically, she got what she kind of wanted, but she really didn't. So, yeah.
So then, like Mercedes, she goes home with Terica, and I don't know why, but she introduces Terica to Maine.
This scene was really
it's
weird.
Cringy.
It
It's
was
cringy.
okay. It just wasn't me.
It wasn't
okay.
you. It was weird.
But this is a thing that happens in the neighborhood as well. Like, but Terica already has that grown minded. Well, she feels she's grown because we see she's clearly a child within this. So I'm please, Katori, don't allow that to be a storyline of this show.
Yeah, that's
we don't need that.
Yeah, because even you saying that, like, Mercedes knows her daughter, so it was just kind of like,
yeah,
I didn't see the reason.
Like she looked at, she like, go your ass in the house. But what you gonna say, Jay?
I'm just glad I wasn't the only one that saw that scene. It was just like, this feels so wrong. So
yeah, but I guess the main thing within this is Maine is upset. Mercedes danced with murder on the actual club. They basically saying you chose. Whenever you did that, you picked him over, which is kind of it's kind of neat that where she stays that she's in that rivalry's town. So her car matches their colors within that. Just so it just matches with the chief what's it called? So I like how they pay attention to the color scheme and things of that nature. But yeah,
I would have been mad if I had to have a yellow car just because of the neighborhood I lived in.
Time to move, right?
Like, let me get out of here. Yellow is not even my color. But, yeah.
And then Haley, her last, I guess, big scene, and she pulls up on Uncle Cliff to kind of to go back and forth with him, with her about what happened, and basically she's the one that gave gave it away, but she feel like she did more than Cliff has been working from every angle because she's been trying to figure out where Haley is actually coming from, and after she figured it out, she got it. So she gave her 250,000 back that she bought the club for. Within that situation, and Haley just felt salty as shit. So she said, same thing she told Murda in the last season. She said, you can leave out, you can leave out the front door, it's right there, or you can leave out the window, it's over there. Which one you want to choose? And Haley was just fucked up because she didn't have any more plays at that moment. She lost the mayor election is lost. She don't have Andre. Now she may be pregnant, which I think she is pregnant because she, playing that shit off.
If Whisper told her she was pregnant,
she's definitely pregnant. She definitely got twins up in there.
And I think this is when I get my favorite Uncle Clifford rule. He was like, just because a bitch good at keeping peace, don't mean she ain't good at waging war. Rule number 88. I think that was my favorite. I didn't mention my last episode. Yeah, that was my favorite one. And then we go to the dance. Grandmother's having her dance. What did y'all think about Grandma's juke joint?
It was cool. Nice little throwback type vibe. I thought it was again weird that she brought Terica to the dance, but hey, it's whatever.
I mean, given the situation of what we actually had, I didn't have a problem with it because it wasn't a nobody was stripping. Nobody.
No, it's not that. I just feel like go to bed. Like, why you still?
I mean,
she's 14.
She's 14.
Go to bed.
No, she ain't in school. Why not? Let her come out. She hanging out with her mama.
Chris Kid is going to bed the same time JR is going to bed.
Nah, that was just...
It don't matter how old they are. They could be 17 years old. He's gonna be like, look, stay home. Your bedtime is 7:30.
Nah.
Man, so this is kind of crazy because Cliff he puts on a red dress. Well, he puts on a red outfit because it looked like it had legs in it, like a jumpsuit type thing. But if you look at it again, I want you to go back. I'm probably gonna clip it for sure. I'm gonna clip it. If you look at this scene, it looks like the lady from the Powerpuff Girls. They had Cliff look like the lady from the Powerpuff
Him?
Girls. Yeah, no, he looks like
That's
the girl, the
no,
one,
that's the
the
name.
mayor, the
Oh,
mayor.
oh, I thought you was calling it. Okay. Oof.
Oh,
Not
Scared
him,
me for a
not him,
second. You
not
scared me for a
him,
second.
not him. I said
Because
I
it's sort
said
of the same.
she looked like
Okay.
the so the one that used to be in the mayor's office.
No,
That's the one.
I got you.
That's about. And then you see like the three strippers, like the three girls. They walk in, they have on a red dress, a blue dress, and a green. Just like damn, they look like are they matching the Powerpuff Girls? Or what's going on here? I'm gonna run it back, and you're gonna see them like, oh shit, it look like the Powerpuff Girls, but I know the reason Cliff is wearing this is because Murda, told him his favorite postcard for Murda was you look good in red. So that's I feel like that's why he put the nod of putting it on, and he's hanging out. Cliff's hanging out with his homies. They talking, and then mint condition, pretty brown eyes pop on. Jazz, what do you think about this scene?
So I know a lot of people was excited for the scene. I think this was a dream sequence. I think the entire scene was a dream sequence. I think with Murda coming behind Cliff and they dancing and everybody's looking at them, I think the entire thing was a dream sequence because before this scene, you had Cliff in the office and Big L gave Cliff some pills. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Cliff was high anyway because Cliff was just like, because that's when they found out that Autumn / Breaker of Change / Haley took all their money.
42 racks.
Soon as they fired her, they should have changed their passwords on all of their bank statements. Everything should have.
I think she did. Over. I feel like she did that a long time ago. They just didn't know.
But he said it was like that this morning, didn't he? Say
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So said that. Yeah.
Like before I fire you, I'm gonna make sure you don't have access to my funds. That's just like if you're in a relationship with somebody and y'all got a joint account, you better get your money out of there before you break up with them. But that's just how I would do it. But anyway, no, like I don't think it was a real scene because everybody just looks so. It just looked like the perfect thing that you would envision in your brain that you would want to happen. But of course, anytime we create scenarios in our head, it never pans out how we create.
So, Jazz, do you think the entire sequence was fake, or do you think part of it was fake? What do you think? What do you believe the fake?
Soon as Murda came behind Uncle Cliff, I think.
So now, okay, so when Murda comes behind Uncle Cliff, now that is after the office scene. So now that piece, when I went read back and watch, it does look a little dreamy. So now I know prior to that he's playing the actual song. And it gave me super like purple rain vibes, like him at the jukebox. He's playing his favorite song. He brings him up, and I'm just like, bruh, they getting like this is super dope.
It just seemed too perfect for it to be a real scene.
So now up to that point it was, because now I don't know afterwards. Now before that, remember they went to the actual room and they had the actual talk. Because Mercedes was like, is that your dude? And he was like, girl. And they had that conversation, and he finally tells them about Teak. And he was just saying how that situation became a situation. They was in jail. It was what it was, right. And then it was 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and they just kept on doing it. And Cliff still pushing him away within that situation because he's just like, and that was like I said, the brother can act. Like J.R. Funds can fucking act, because he was like, bro, all you doing is you just keep on pushing me away. And he said, let's just talk about you, because you the one that's really scared of this look. You the one that's really scared of trying to push me away. That's my fucking choice. But I got Cliff's point, because Cliff was like, I don't want to be that chain that you wear of guilt of, whenever you with me, you feel like you gave it up for me. And I don't want to be that person that you look at like you gave up your dreams because, for that situation. And then, that's when he basically, I think everything up until that point was real. Like, Katori said, it's not so when they sitting out there, that was supposed to be a nod, Jazz, when he goes up to him, he said, "You not fucking dreaming." It's not supposed to be. He did. You think he'll tell himself that? You think I don't see Cliff being that delusional, Jazz?
Anytime somebody's in a situation that they feel like is unbelievable, they say, "This is not a dream." So, and if you high, come on, stop.
Man, it's a. I mean, they can definitely go either way. Chris, next season, do you want this to be a dream or do you want this to be a real thing?
I want it to be real because I feel like that cheapens everything that happened up to that point.
Jazz, what you want?
Oh, I want it to be a dream sequence.
Ooh, we split over here. I want it to be real, but if it's not real, I'm interested to see what direction they go within that. Cliff is. I want it. I like kind of like what Chris said. I don't want it to because I want Cliff to be able to get his win. You kind of go back to one of the biggest songs that he first did was he put the song that put him over is he chose he usually choose money over love, but he kind of told Cliff that in the episode. He said, "And you say you choose money." He said that usually, but that's not the case. So yeah, I'm hoping it's real. It'll be dope, but it's interesting because here recently it's been a lot of rappers who can that's able to be themselves, embrace that side of them, that sexuality, and the LGBT side, and maintain who they are. As far as when it comes to rap, I don't feel like that affects or should deal with their abilities, but people definitely judge a lot harder when it comes to a man doing that. So I got where he's coming from, being both sides. Like not against love, but I definitely would have chose my career. Not that Cliff would be okay. We'll come back together at some point. Let me get this bread, and I'm come back, and then we're gonna be good. But did you guys have anything else within this season at all?
Nah.
I feel like we covered everything.
Yeah, we should have. In a decent timing as well. But was it good? Did you guys feel this was good?
Absolutely. I enjoyed it for sure.
I thought it was good. I feel like the last episode maybe was a little bit underwhelming, but it wasn't bad.
You think so?
To me, I just the way they set it up, like the whole to be continued with episode 9, it was just kind of like, oh, something big was about to happen, like the whole winking game. I thought that was like foreshadowing to something, and then Big Bone turning into like an assassin. I don't know where that came from, but
so with the winking game, I guess it never really came back up, but technically it did because everybody that was a killer technically became a killer of something. Um, Murda killed Pico. Wody killed Rome. Who else? Teak.
Teak killed himself.
I yeah. I didn't want to say
but
it.
I mean, he did.
Sorry.
Yeah, he did, and then I know Miss, I'm gonna say, but Keyshawn, with her, she hasn't killed anything, but
I mean,
she
killed the chances. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she did. She killed her. Yeah,
her stepmother killed her chances.
Yeah, she
it's hard to blame her for losing her cool at that moment too. That's like a whole.
I'm definitely not blaming her. That was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely a situation to where like she was covering for Derek the entire time, and then they looking at you as if you were the one that caused injury to your baby because you were out on the road, and then Derek decided to injure the child as soon as you came home to make it seem like it was you that was abusing him. Man, look. Somebody should have gave Keyshawn the link stream to the movie enough and tell her to go to the end of the film. Go ahead and set up what needs to be set up. Do what J-Lo did. Not that I'm saying I condone that type of behavior, but I get why J-Lo did it.
Sometimes it's needed.
Yeah, sometimes it's necessary.
Sometimes it's needed. But for me, yeah, I love the second half of the actual season. I definitely enjoyed the finale. I'm hoping it wasn't a dream sequence because, like I said, that was actually super dope in how they actually did it. But I'm not mad at the dream sequences. But like I said, that purple rain vibe, like I said, what I got from that definitely super Princey within that and the music. Like that inside, they dancing to Love Ballad by LTD, man. That's a
song right there.
That's a fucking vibe. A super fucking vibe. What are you guys' links of Thrones? This will be interesting.
So mine is going to be Coach. His name is Sherman Augustus. He was in Stranger Things season 4. He was the Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan. So he was he was trying to get 11 in Stranger Things season 4, but he didn't get her.
Cool. My Link of Thrones is going to be, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, Morocco Amari, who is Big L. He was in 21 Bridges with RIP Chadwick Boseman.
Nice.
Man, Jazz had trying to make a little joke about my Link of Thrones the other day. In chat, talking about we're gonna talk about this one day. Now that was Chris. You said we're gonna talk about this one day. What were we talking about, Chris?
I mean, I'm just waiting for your Link of Thrones. You sort of proved my point. Because you don't never have it. You always say you don't have your Link of Thrones, and sometimes
I don't. So for this one right here, I have 3 ways I really want to go with it. You know what I'm saying?
So for the listeners and viewers, this is called stalling.
I do, because I really want to use. It's 3 people actually from the show. So fuck it, let me do that. We're gonna do Meg Thee Stallion. Boom. We got Meg Thee Stallion. Yes, sir. And no, I'm gonna use Meg. Okay, cool. We'll use Parker Sawyers. This is Andre. He played Barack Obama in Southside to You. So yeah, that's my What?
You probably was better off using Meg Thee Stallion, and she was in She-Hulk. Spoiler alert.
Nope. I was fit too. It's like 3 people in this show from She-Hulk.
Who's the third person?
Well, of course, the cop. You got Meg, and then you have the news reporter that was in the beginning of the episode that was talking to Andre about the news reporter. She was just
somebody fall. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He just kept going like, oh well.
That's not my business, because people got to sit their ass down. We ain't doing none of that. You don't hear no crying.
Jason said Falls Bill character.
They do. Within this, Jazz, you still dropping bars this evening for us or no? What you got?
I've been dropping bars this entire episode. I haven't heard any bars from y'all. So
Chris, where you at, Chris? Where your bars at, Chris?
Not this week. I got you next week.
Next week? We here today.
I don't got no bars today, bro. I'm sorry. Jazz took all the bars.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I came in here with the bars and nobody came with bars
got?
with me. And nobody came with bars. All right. Let me see. Let's see. Hold on. I don't even be able to say it because I'm gonna laugh because I'm looking at y'all. I need to turn my camera off.
Chris,
what?
This shit about to be trash.
Yeah.
It might be, but let's see.
I'm glad Jazz is dropping the album next summer, not Jason.
Let's see. Me.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. You're gonna start at the top. This ain't politically correct. I'm about to run up the check. Your boy's about to spaz. Go on to go scoop up Jazz. About to go kick some ass. Your boy just copped the whip. Chris trying to do the dash, but I'm on to something bigger. Just me and my 2 niggas. Just made a podcast, hoping to see decent figures. I'm that nigga. Where to Future and Hendrix. Not on that goofy shit. Fuck that nigga academics. To you, that may seem rude. For me, that's how I move. I got a cool groove. I can be a cool dude. Disrespect the set, you gonna see a new move. Just hit my fucking dance. You see where I stand. Was it good though? Bitch, you know the fucking rest. I'm done. That's it.
Jazz, you owe him an apology. That was he.
I ain't got no album, but that's how we fucking do it over here at the Was It Good Though podcast, bitch.
Love it.
I just want to say, no one listening is a bitch. He was just joking. It's all right.
No, we're talking to the other podcast niggas out there that got podcasts. We trying to change it up out here. We trying to do it differently. But yeah, that's it.
That was dope, Jason. Good job.
I appreciate it. I had to incorporate my guys in there. But this was episode 13. Definitely went over PValley. We do again appreciate everybody who's listening, who's subscribing, who's sharing, who's commenting, who's posting, laughing with us. We definitely would appreciate we definitely appreciate the engagement. We definitely talk back on our social medias. Like I said, we have a chat community that we go into. We speak with the people frequently. If you have a TV show recommendation, please save it. If you have a movie recommendation, please let us know. We got some big things. Well, I feel like we got some shows that we really into that'll be coming up. So definitely enjoy that. We just dropped a bonus episode, double feature, volume 1 of She-Hulk and
House of the Dragon.
Jazz, how did you feel about that She-Hulk episode today? Did you really find it?
The one that dropped today, I thought it was really good. The post-credit scene, it was all right.
I want to see the actress that was actually she, because you know it's a person that dresses up as She-Hulk, and they just they fix her face to look like Jennifer. So I'm interested to see the behind the scenes move of that.
I mean, she looked like she was doing her thing. Her they was getting it. So
she said, Meg, I will kill for you."
She said, "Whoa."
Yeah, Megan, calm down.
Let's really back in, sis.
Right. But no, I definitely enjoyed it. I'm enjoying She-Hulk so far. So
yeah, that was funny. I mean, that was like a genuine. This episode, the entire episode, was actually pretty funny. But it's like I said, well written. We already talked about that. Chris, you have any last remarks, comments, sir?
Nah, appreciate all the love and support as always. The previous episode, PValley, I appreciate the love and support. Y'all been running up the views for us on YouTube. And of course, everyone who listens, likes, follows, subscribes, all of y'all, just appreciate it. Yeah, just keep doing our thing. Yeah.
Jazz, you got any final remarks, comments?
Nah, y'all pretty much said it. Shout out to everybody that listens and shares and communicates and comments, so.
Man, much appreciation, much love. Again, this is episode 13 of the Was It Good Though podcast. Deuces.